So in this video, I'm going to be spending the next 100 days on a river in my hardcore Minecraft Forever world. With all that being said, let's just jump right into it. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working some more on the Forever world. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I've been kind of slacking. I haven't been on the Forever world in probably a little over a month at this point, and I am just so excited to get back into it. So we're back on the Forever world. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to work on next. I might do some interior designing because those of you that saw the last Forever world video, I did the interior of this house right here, obviously, as you guys can see, but we still got 1, 2, 3 top floors of these 3 houses are not done. The bottom floors of these 3 houses are also not done, and then I'm pretty sure this house right here also not decorated. And I want to say my pale oak house right over here, the interior is also not done in there. So I've got a lot of interior designing to do. I'm definitely not excited because doing interiors is one of my least favorite things to build in Minecraft. Speaking of which, let me know down below in the comment section what your guys' favorite thing to build in Minecraft is right now. But yeah, so I've got 3, 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8. I've got 8 interiors, and then that interior and that interior makes 10 interiors I gotta design. So I kind of think I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that to start out today's episode. But not only do I want to decorate some interiors, I'm also thinking I'm gonna start growing the village on this side of the river. Obviously, you guys know we primarily have been building on that side of the river, and I'm not gonna lie, the view looking at that side of the river looks absolutely amazing. My nice little cozy village over there looks awesome, but I want to get it expanded over here as well. So I think that's what we're going to be doing in today's episode. First of things first, let's go ahead and get started with some interior design work. I guess before we decide to go ahead and get to work on any crazy builds, I do want to harvest the wheat field. You guys know every single episode I like to come up, harvest the wheat field a couple times, because we are trying to fill out both of these barrels, ideally with hay bales, so I can use them for building, because I love using hay bales as little direction blocks like this. Or not direction, but decoration is what I meant to say. And also, I feel like there's no better way to hop on Minecraft and get on a Minecraft grind. Just hopping on and spending some time farming. I don't know what it is, but farming wheat in Minecraft is one of the most satisfying things of all time. So I'm gonna get this harvested. I will see you guys in just a moment. Okay, the entire wheat field is harvested. I absolutely love this wheat field. It's like the perfect size to just have a good harvest. Let's craft up our 46 hay bales and add that to the giant stockpile we've got going on here. We are getting so close to getting 1 out of 2 barrels full. Now, like I said, I want to decorate the interior of one of the houses just to get it done. I gotta force myself to do it because, like I said, I hate doing interiors. But before I do that, I'm actually gonna head up and see if anybody's been online in the last month, see how the iron farm is looking progression wise. For any of you that are new to the series, this is my Forever world. I started it back in February and we've been building on it ever since. It's been shared between me and like 5 other people, but I'm like the most active by far. And this is the little village I've built up so far. I'm absolutely loving it, but we're gonna keep expanding it. And then if you were here in the last episode, you know up on this mountain I'm kind of building a fantasy village. So we got the fantasy house with the purple amethyst roof, which I absolutely love how that turned out. And we also got the fantasy tower with that. I love that cool pointed fantasy roof. It has so much detail. I just love it. But if we head up here, we have our aesthetic iron farm that is copied off a YouTube video. I don't know where the YouTube video is, but I did copy it, and it does decent iron, especially since it's kind of right in our base area. It's basically being AFK'd anytime anybody is online, and it looks like nobody's been online because we have absolutely no iron, although we do have basically half a double chest full of blocks of iron, and I've got more iron back in my main base as well. Okay, so like I said, the first thing I want to do is get at least 1 interior of our house done because I've got like 8 interiors I need to do. So I'm gonna start collecting some resources that I need for some interiors. First things first, I want a little bit of pale moss carpet because I think I'm gonna use that for the floor. I'm gonna take a little bit of regular moss carpet because I'm not 100% sure which I'm gonna go with yet, but just being able to have both of them in case I need them is definitely gonna be a good idea. Now let's head over to the house and get some more decoration. Okay, I don't really have an idea for what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of grab some random decoration blocks that I can play around with, add stuff, remove stuff, and just see what I want to do over time. So we're just grabbing things like pots, leaves, so maybe some of these twisting vines could look pretty cool. I'm gonna grab some stuff. I'll see you guys when I get back over to the house. Okay, I got a good majority of the decoration blocks I'm gonna use. There might be some other things I have to come back and grab, but there is one thing I'm gonna need that's gonna be pretty important, which is a bed. And I don't want a very boring bed, so we're gonna pick a dye. I think honestly I'll just go with the purple, and let's take the purple dye. And then we're also gonna need some wood, which is up here in my little medieval house. We should have some spruce wood chilling right there. And lastly, we gotta head over to the sheep farm to get a little bit of wool so we can craft some beds. And in, I believe 2 episodes ago, I moved the sheep into the bottom of this house house right here because they were in the middle of a prairie and it was just kind of an ugly look. So I'm going to just go ahead and shear a couple of these guys. And then I should be good to go ahead and craft up a bed if I can find a crafting table, which is right here. Let's get a bed crafted up like that. And let's go ahead and turn that bed purple. Perfect. Gives us a little bit more color for the build, which I'm definitely going to enjoy. Like I said, this house right here is already decorated. I go with very simple house decorating, so bear with me, but let's get started in here. I think once again, we're going to go with a very simple design. We're probably going to throw a bed right here. This house does have a little patio out front, though. I got to remember that. And maybe we could throw a composter right there and another composter right here. And then do I have any signs? It does not look like it. We'll put a crafting table there as sort of a nightstand, and then I can craft up some signs just like that. And we can go ahead and throw these signs on the compost to give a little bit more depth to the build. And then we can go ahead and add in some color with some oak leaves, giving little bush, like, I don't know, it just looks like a little bush plant to me in the corner of the room. And one over here as well, I think will look very, very nice. And then I think I'm gonna do just a little, like, maybe table. I haven't done one of these. Just a little pressure plate on top of fence post makes a pretty decent nightstand like that. And then we can maybe, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna make a little shelf with some upside down stairs. We're gonna throw a chest on top of these, and then maybe just a barrel kind of chilling right there. I think could look pretty decent. I think this room does need a little bit more light, though, I'm not gonna lie. So let's be simple. Let's hang one chain, and let's hang a lantern on top of that chain for a little extra light right there. And we could maybe throw a torch in right there and a torch in right there. I think I'm gonna go with the pale oak. Actually, that blends in way too much with the floor since we're using the deep slate floor. I think we're gonna have to go with regular moss carpet, and we can build ourselves out a little bit of a rug like that. Perfect. And one other small detail thing I like to do is just a little bookshelf that I can then outline with these spruce trap doors to just kind of give it a more finished look, something like that. And the same thing on this side, although we're gonna have to break that torch, which is perfectly okay with me, and top it off. And it gives you this nice little bookshelf looking idea. And then I feel like this area is still a little bit empty, and my idea is, can I hang some of these twisted vines on the ceiling here? If I do that and then I grab the vine, okay, it does not come out of wood, unfortunately, but I'm pretty positive I can do a glowberry. Okay, yep, we can do a glowberry. So I'm gonna do a glowberry there, and then I need bone meal. Okay, I got the bone meal. I'm gonna add one more glowberry right there to just expand that a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and add a bone meal just so it can help light the room up a little bit more. And then honestly, I don't know what else to do. I guess I could maybe go ahead and throw some candles on top of this crafting table like that. 3 candles seems decent enough, and let's go ahead and light those. Actually, there's something I wanted to test. So I have fire aspect on the sword. Somebody told me in the comments that you can light a candle with fire aspect. It does not look like that's true. Okay, I got lied to. I'm not really surprised, but I just wanted to give it a try since I did get a comment about it. I feel like this area could probably maybe use something. Let's see what we got. I think we could go ahead and maybe add a cauldron in here like that, and then maybe a lever. Unfortunately, I need cobblestone. I'm too lazy to head over to the cobblestone farm, so I think I'll just go up here into my pig area, my cute little pig pen. I love how this looks, dude. I think this came together so well, but let's just climb up the mountain here, and I can go ahead and steal 1 cobblestone. Hopefully nobody notices that that's missing, and let's just head back down into the house here. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I really just don't like decorating interiors. It's something I've never enjoyed, so I really have to like force myself in order to decorate these interiors, which is why they take me so long to do. But I think that's gonna be it for this interior. I kind of feel like I should go decorate the bottom floor right away. I think I'm going to, just so it's done, and then we have 4 out of 8 of these homes done at least. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for how to enjoy decorating interiors, let me know down below in the comments. I'm always looking for ideas because it's one of my least favorite things in Minecraft to do of all time. And honestly, this one's about to be a lot harder because I've got this basement. If you guys haven't seen, we have a little auto smelter chilling out down here, and it's honestly super duper handy. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world. I should probably go ahead and farm up some of the lava here. Since I'm here, I feel like it's just a good idea to grab what I can. And I guess we're just gonna clear out a little bit of inventory space. I'll be back for you later. I'm sorry. I know it's rough getting abandoned, but I'll be back, I promise. And I should be good to go ahead and add these into my fuel chest. We almost have a full chest of lava buckets. That's amazing. Anyways, back to decorating. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. So first things first, I need a little bit of a crafting table. Let's get that down so I can go ahead and start crafting. Let's get get ourselves a bed crafted. I'm too lazy to go get dye, so I think we're just gonna stick with one bed this time. And this bed is just gonna go right into the corner like that. Let's do a little ladder up the wall there. And then I think we'll grab the crafting table, and actually we're simply just gonna move the crafting table right to there. I feel like that's decent. Let's grab the shulker out right away, and let's go ahead and I think actually just 2 candles for this one. Light those, it'll add a little bit of light to the room, which I do, and I can definitely appreciate. Okay, I changed my mind. This bed being white is driving me crazy. So let's go ahead and go get a different dye color. I'm gonna actually, instead of going to my dye chest, I'm just gonna go explore, and we're gonna see what kind of flower I can find so we can dye our bed and have a bed. Okay, we already have white. That's not gonna work. But okay, yellow, I'm not gonna lie, yellow is my least favorite color. I think yellow is the ugliest color of all time, but I think we're just gonna go with it just because we can. One yellow bed. This is the first yellow bed I've used in the world, and maybe potentially the last. I'm really just loving how this is all coming together though. We have this nice farming district I think looks absolutely beautiful, and then it goes into the little riverfront village over here, which I also love. And slowly but surely you guys can see we are doing interior decoration, even though it is one of my least favorite things of all time. Let's go ahead and get that bed down, and I don't really like the ladders, so let's get rid of these guys too. I think we need some deep slate in order to hang some lanterns from the roof, so I'm gonna run and grab deep slate. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I went ahead, we got my slabs, so I'm gonna just make the roof even at this level because I feel like in general it's gonna make this a lot more consistent and just make everything feel a lot nicer. So we're gonna finish this all in, and then obviously typical chain in the middle of the floor like that. And I think these torches could be removed and then placed a little bit lower on the walls, just like that. And then over here, let's just do a little bookshelf, maybe 3 tall. I feel like looks pretty good, and it kind of just gives more to that section of this build. I don't know what to do in here. That's the problem. Like, I have no idea what would look good. We could maybe go ahead and do a stack of barrels in the corner like that with a chest on top, and then another crafting table right there. That gives a little bit of decoration right here. Let's add a torch up there. I like that. And maybe we'll just bring these stairs all the way around. Of course, they're not out of spruce. They're out of dark oak. So we got to head over and let's go grab some dark oak. Shouldn't be too bad. I believe I should have some dark oak up in my starter house. If not, I might have to go farm some, but I think I still have more than enough. Okay, so it does look like we have some dark oak stairs. This is all I need. Let's go ahead and take these and head back over to the interior that we're working on designing. And now very simply, I just want to make the stairs kind of be a little bit wider because I think it'll look a little nicer. Yeah, I like that a lot more. I wish the door was just down 1 block, but you know, not much I can do about that. I don't know what else to add to the decoration here. I'm thinking maybe this might be stupid, but the ladder right there like that. And then maybe we could go ahead and add in, okay, not there, but yeah, I don't know what to do because I don't want to like block up the entire room here. Actually, I might just leave this like this. There's one other thing. I think we'll take some pale oak carpet and let's do a giant rug in the middle of the floor like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Like, it looks okay. And then what else can I add here? I don't know that there is much else I can add. Can you add vine? Oh, wait a minute. So you can grow these from stone. I kind of like how that looks. Okay, I'm going to do one over here and then maybe one right up here. And yeah, I just like those growing around like that. I think that looks pretty cool. And maybe I can do one right above the bed too. And I feel like that's a good enough second floor for me. Like I said, I don't need anything crazy inside these houses, just a little bit of decoration so it's not so plain. And we got the bottom floor and the top floor of this one done. Now we've just got 2 more bottom floors, 2 more top floors, and then 2 more houses in the back and that house up there obviously as well. But for now, I want to break from designing the interior, so I'm gonna go ahead and empty out my inventory. I'll see you guys once my inventory is cleared out. Okay, so before we move on to anything too crazy in the video, I have a tradition in the series I do where basically every episode I name an animal based on your guys' comment name suggestions. So previous episodes, you guys have seen me name all my horses here, from Freya, Major, Poppy. We've also got Midnight right here, to a bunch of cats and other animals in the world. So right now, I'm just gonna take a moment to go ahead and name one of the animals from the previous episode on the Forever World. If you guys have name suggestions, let me know down below in the comments what you guys want an animal named, and also tell me what type of animal or Minecraft mob you want named that. So let's head up to the enchanting area and let's get naming. Okay, so the number 1 suggested pick that I do for an animal is naming one of my bees, and the name is interesting. It's actually Zram. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So that is what we're going to be naming one of the bees. So let's head down to the beehive and pick out one of the bees that we're going to give the name Zram to. Okay, my bee, I haven't been in here forever, but my beehive, we have a lot of bees. A lot of them are probably just hanging out in their little honey or whatever you call these things, in their bee's nest. But we're gonna have to pick one, and I don't know which one. I guess it doesn't really matter. All these bees are probably the same, so I think we're just gonna call you Z-Ram. So welcome to the family, Z-Ram. Like I said, guys, if you have name suggestions, you want to name any animal on the server, whether it's a horse, a cat, a dog, a bee, literally any mob, let me know down below in the comments. I always read all the comments, so if you guys comment something, it will definitely be seen and maybe featured in the next episode. But with our first animal named, I think it's time we get started with some actual builds. And like I said, today I kind of plan to expand everything over to this part of this side of the river. Like I said, we've got village from there all the way up a little past that house to the stable. I want to start getting some of the village expanded on this side of the river as well. So we got some things to do. First things first, I think we need to do some excavation work for a trail. And before I can get started excavating, I actually need to go ahead and grab some coarse dirt. Okay, of course we only have 8, but I should be okay to just grab 4 stacks of gravel and another 4 stacks of dirt, and then I should be able to craft up a bunch of coarse dirt, which is absolutely perfect. And I'm also just gonna need some slabs, because you guys can see I think these are spruce slabs, right? Yeah, spruce slabs for incline in my trails. So let's head up to the starter house and see what we've got going on for some spruce slabs. Okay, looks like we got at least 2 stacks of spruce slabs. That'll be, oh no, 3 stacks. That'll be a decent start to get me going. Now let's go ahead and get started with this project that I want to start. Okay, dude, I should build some more custom trees too, but I really don't want to. I think other than designing interiors of houses, I think building custom trees is my second least favorite thing in Minecraft. But basically my idea is I'm going to bring a trail that kind of goes down the side over here. So let's go ahead and let's get started with that. First things first, obviously we need to do a little bit of excavation here, and we can go ahead and replace any of that in with the coarse dirt. And I think we'll also just bring it around like that. Looks pretty good. And we can clean up some of this cliff edge here too, just so everything feels a little bit more natural. Okay, I got this kind of laid out how I want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this all the way down. You guys know the drill for how these paths go. It's very simple. Okay, I'm literally messing up as I say it's simple, but we're just going to do a very simple pathway going all the way down, kind of this little thing here. And then I think I also would like to kind of bring, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but I want to bring it over this direction, I guess. So we'll maybe do a little something like that, and then this way, and then down another, and we'll probably make it go around something like this. I just want a little winding path going all the way down here. I'll have to fix it up later, but I'm not 100% sure how I want to do this yet either. So I think we'll probably go down like that. And yeah, it's too steep. I don't know how to actually make this and make this look good and make this work. So I'm gonna break all this, and I guess we're just gonna keep playing around with a couple different styles and see what we can do here. But yeah, I also just started watching a new TV show. I just finished Ironheart it's that new MCU TV show. I originally thought the first 2 episodes were good, but then it kind of got bad after that. And now I have been watching Merlin, or I just started watching Merlin. So far, I kind of like it. It looks interesting. We'll see how it goes going forward. But I think the best method for me to do this is going to be going down a little bit earlier. And let's get the coarse dirt up here. And we're going to keep it the same style. It's just going to go down like this. It's just going to start going down a lot earlier, so that way I can actually get down to the level I need to be at. So like that looks pretty decent, but I still got to get all the way down there. I think I want to put a house like right there, or some sort of building there. Okay, so I've been thinking a little bit and kind of planning out what I want to do here for this build. I've got an idea. So I think instead of making it go all the way down to the beach level, like I said I was going to do, like all the way down here, basically it's too steep. I'd have to use stairs, and in my opinion, the stairs don't look as well when you're trying to make a trail. So I had this different idea that I'm going to explain to you guys right now. So basically the idea is I'm going to put a building right here, like a little like riverside house, basically right here, where it's going to have a front entrance down here at like this Y level, and then the second floor up here at like this Y level. And then if I build that up, I can make the path simply just come down here, kind of wind over here, and then enter the house right here. And then maybe some rocks and trees over here could look pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my idea, and I think I want the path to kind of go a little bit kitty corners, so let's get to work on that. So I'm thinking a little something like this, and then we'll go down and we'll go over. You guys kind of you got the basic idea of what is happening here. And honestly, probably doesn't need to be 3 wide. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that might be a little bit overkill, so we could switch this into 2. And let's just get it probably about there. Sorry if it's raining and dark because of my shaders, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And then, okay, I feel like we definitely need to go down another layer and down 1 more. And then I think this would be a decent level to have it start at. So let's go ahead and dig that, do a little something like this, and have the trail kind of just go over like that. And it'll hug all the way along, all the way over to here. That should be the basic layout for the trail, and I'll have to do a little bit of terraforming to build this up. We're probably going to add in some rocks as well in the future too, but we'll just start out with a little something like that. And okay, I think we could go with a slab maybe right there, and then also that, and 1 more right there too. And then just to make, no, I can't do that. I don't like how it's just like straight over, but that's what we're gonna have to do. So now I need to come up with a design for what I want the house to look like, so I actually have this go somewhere that I want to do. So I'm gonna go find some inspiration images. Okay, before I go get started with this, you know, the house, I want to do just a little bit of like decoration. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of bushes, maybe something like that. You know what? I want some moss carpet as well, so I gotta go grab some of that. I'll be right back once I get some moss carpet. Okay, so I also just want to go ahead and throw on a little bit of this moss to act as like leaves and kind of give a little bit of difference to the actual build. Yeah, so a little bush right there, and then I think we'll also do a little bit of shrub kind of like right here, just randomly place these guys like that, and I think that'll probably be good and okay for now. And then I plan to do some rock stuff over here that I think will look pretty cool, but I think it's time I get this house planned out and kind of made. So let's go ahead and get started with that. First things first, I can make this pathway definitely go out another block like that, and then I'm gonna go pick up some blocks and decide what I'm gonna do for a layout for the house. Okay, so I was trying to thinking and kind of planning out what I want to do for the house, and I decided I don't really think I've done any houses in like built out of tuff as like the main material. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be collecting up some materials to build the house, and we need a bunch of spruce wood for the design that I want to go for. So obviously right now we're over here at the tree farm. We got to turn our auto tree chopping mod on, and we can just get started chopping down a couple of spruce trees here using our nice tree chop mod. This should not take me too long at all. Also, I don't think I'm gonna have to be here very long because how massive these trees actually are. This should be really easy. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time farming up some spruce wood. I will see you guys in just a moment once I get all the spruce wood I need. Okay, I actually only ended up chopping down a couple of spruce trees, but I think I've got more than enough. I'm now gonna go ahead and place a couple saplings back to replace the ones I tore down, and then we should be good to go collect some other resources we're gonna need for the rest of the build. And honestly, 1 more, that's probably good. We have so many spruce trees to begin with, I'm not really too worried about it. And you know what, we'll do 1 more right there, and maybe another one right there. As you guys can see, we got 4.5 stacks of spruce logs. That should be more than enough. I'm gonna go head back to the base and start working on collecting the next resource I need. Okay, I made it back to the base, and the wheat farm is fully done, so I think I'm gonna just take a moment to go ahead and farm this entire thing up. But first things first, I'm gonna need a little inventory space, so let's put down all of our spruce logs. Apparently you can't put a shulker box in a shulker box. I totally knew that, but let's go ahead and let's take a little bit of time to harvest up the wheat farm. I believe this is harvest number 2 of the video. If you guys are paying attention, remember at the end of the video to comment how many times I harvested the wheat farm. But yeah, I'm gonna finish harvesting this. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Okay, I got all the wheat farm harvested in perfect time for the beautiful Minecraft sunset. Dude, I do not know how I played Minecraft for so many years without shaders, but let's go ahead and craft up our 47 hay bales so we can go ahead and add them into the storage collection right here. I keep saying it every time, but honestly, 1 or 2 more videos, this thing will probably be completely full of hay bales, which I love. Okay, so getting back on track here, next thing I need to do is I've got to go find myself some tuff. I don't think tuff spawns on this layer, so I think I've got to drop down to the deep slate level. I'm just hoping this beacon is still reaching down to the deep slate level and I can still have the effects of it, because mining tuff is not fun. Unfortunately, it doesn't look look like that's gonna be the case at all. But first things first, we gotta go find a vein of tuff. So I'm gonna start mining. I'll see you guys when I find my vein of tuff. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. I've found some tuff. I hope it's a really big vein. I can just spend a little bit of time mining away, and of course it's in a lava. So I don't have high hope. Yep, no, it's literally entirely being eaten up by this lava pool here. But I'm gonna mine up what I can, I guess, and hope maybe, yeah, no, this is gonna be a problem. There's like not gonna be any tuff I can get. Actually, I don't even want to deal with the lava, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start heading this direction and see if I can find a new vein of tuff. Like I said before, I'll see you guys when I find the next vein of tuff that I'm gonna attack or try to mine, and actually hope there's no lava. Okay, I'm not having any luck finding, you know, tuff, but we found a vein of diamonds. It looks like it's only gonna be 3, unfortunately, but you know what? I'll take 6 diamonds and we can look around, see if there's more. I really doubt there's gonna be more. Yeah, we'll just keep going. I'm gonna go look for tuff. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I found some tuff again. I hear lava though, so let's hope that the lava isn't touching this vein of tuff, and I should be good to just form up all the tuff I'm gonna need. And honestly, I shouldn't need too much tuff because all I'm using it for is this one house, and I don't think the house is gonna be that big. But while I'm here, I don't want to have to look for tuff again in the future, so I'm gonna just mine the entire vein. I'm gonna do that, and I will see you guys once I get the entire vein of tuff mined up. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've never actually realized how massive a vein of tuff is. Like, you guys probably can't see very well. Let me just place some torches around here. But this is what I've mined out so far. This has taken me probably about like 7 minutes, I would say. And as you can see, that still goes a long way. And let me just go down here, place a torch. Look, all of that is tuff all the way through. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually mine this entire thing, because I think that's gonna take me forever. Maybe I'll just get an inventory full and then call it. But I'm gonna get back to work. I'll see you guys once I finish mining up all the tuff. Okay, basically I've completely filled up my inventory with tuff and a little bit of ores, and there's still a crap load of tuff here. So I'm gonna leave this for a future time, and I'm gonna head back up to the surface. Okay, so I got all the materials, or not all the materials, but I got a majority of the materials that I'm gonna be using for this house. Very simply, it's basically just gonna be spruce wood and a little bit of tuff. So I think it's time to get started. And like I said to you guys before, I have an idea for the house. So it's gonna be a double-story house with one floor down there and like a bottom area out there, and then the top floor up here with an entrance right here. But I've got some stuff to do, so let's go ahead and get started by getting our building set up down. All my shulkers, a crafting table, and a stone cutter, just like that. And then I think I could probably try to figure out what I'm gonna do down there. I'm not too sure yet. This is gonna be kind of hard, but we're gonna figure it out. So first things first, let's grab some spruce wood, and I'm probably just gonna have to start figuring this out. So I'm wanting like a rectangle shaped house, obviously, and the door is probably gonna be right here on this block. So how do I want to do this? I'm not exactly sure yet, but I think I could start simply by digging out a little bit of this dirt here, maybe a little something like that, and then I can start working on a little bit of framework. So let's go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think, okay, how do I actually want to do this? I'm not sure. This is going to be kind of difficult. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's do another one there, 3, 4, 5, and another one there. So I think that's going to be the shape of the house, and then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll have one right here. And let's just bring these pillars up about 2 blocks each, and we need one more right here. And I think this is gonna be a very basic, simple but basic layout for the wall. And I think just to get an idea for the rest of the build, let's go up on all of these spruce pillars just like this. And if you guys have watched the series before, you guys know I build a very simple thing. Basically, I build logs in like either 3 block wide or 5 block wide or 7 block wide if it's a really big build. And it's basically just going to copy that exact format. And we could probably go ahead and bring these guys up too. But first things first, actually, what I want to do is I want some cross beams to go across like there and another cross beam across right there. And then I can just probably go ahead and do a little bit of excavation work on this cliff right here. And we can extend this down by 1 block in all these places. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got to go down 1 more. And I guess we're going to go ahead and get this cut out. something like that. Also, guys, just bear with me. It's a work in progress. I really don't even know what I'm doing for this house yet. We're just kind of getting a rough idea. And we could bring some cross beams over again. So there we go. We got one floor there. And we'll do the same thing right over here like that. Got to chop that out and replace it. There we go. And yeah, here's my problem. I'm already going to go full inventory. I got to go do some inventory organization real quick. So right up here, let's just go ahead and throw all of our stuff in there. And I just got to remember it's in the left shulker box. But let's get back to the building project. We're going to go over with the spruce in all of these areas, a little something like that. And it's also going to go like this, and boom, 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 boom. Perfect. And then one right here as well. So a little something like that. And then I was thinking for this area down here, I have a little bit of an idea, but honestly, it's going to look strange. So maybe, you know what? I'm going to try it. Let's go get the materials I'm going to need for what I want to do. I will see you guys once I'm back with all the materials I need. Okay, so very simply what I'm going to do is for this under frame part, I'm just going to randomly throw in some of these blocks and make it look like a little bit of a foundation kind of thing. And we can go throw a mossy cobblestone there, and let's just do the same thing under this one too. And I think that looks decent for now. It's probably going to get changed up a little bit later though. And now we could probably just go ahead and throw on all these beams so that way everything just kind of matches, I guess. And we're sticking to these, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, we're sticking to these 5 block tall kind of interior things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we got to go to this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can basically just kind of, if I could actually do it, but place these blocks here and bring those guys across. And now basically I just got to go ahead and do the same thing on this side right here, just like that. Perfect. Okay, now I can add, because there's going to be a second floor up here, so there we go. And then I'm thinking I kind of want to do like 2 separate layers to this. So the bottom layer, like I said, is going to be tough, which isn't really going to be seeable from here, but I think we could maybe go ahead and get that started. This is going to be so, like, I don't know, it's going to be awkward to build. But before we get started with any of that, let's go ahead and let's just fill in some of this area right here. I'm just going to bring this dirt hill so it kind of goes up a little bit steeper, so everything looks a little bit more natural. And we're going to bury the bottom level of the house kind of into the ground like that. A little something like, you know, you guys get the basic idea here. Just so we actually have a proper looking house from down here. And yeah, I think, honestly, I feel like I could go down 1 level, but I feel like that's going to look really awkward, so for now, I'm not going to. And we probably want to go ahead and bring this side up a little bit too. We can use some grass blocks like that. And okay, that is decent enough for now. I can always work on changing this up a little bit in the future, but that looks like a good start to me. The only thing I'm considering is maybe chopping out this. I want to go look at some of my other houses before I decide that. So let's go look up here. Yeah, because these go straight into the ground, right? And over here, yeah, these all go into the ground. I feel like that looks a lot more natural. So honestly, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to drop the build down by 1 block. So let's go ahead and let's get started with that. First things first, we got to chop out these logs and all these underground beams, I guess. So I'm going to get this done. I'll see you guys in a moment. And then we're also going to chop out all this grass on this level as well, like that. And I got to go sleep because it's dark outside. Okay, so I just am kind of thinking, and this is way too tall. So we're going to have to do some work and kind of figure some stuff out here. So to begin with, I think I'm just going to... I was gonna mine the whole thing, but apparently I'm gonna fall off. Okay, 1 second here. But I'm just gonna mine all of this down 1 block here, as you guys can see. All the way around, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna do this. I'll see you guys when I get that done. Okay, you guys get the point. That's down 1 more level. And now I think I'm gonna need... Okay, I'm gonna have to actually think about this. But first things first, I think... Wait, are you... Okay, you're not. So that can stay there. We're gonna need some coarse dirt. So let's grab some of that. And I want to bring this guy down another layer. So do we have spruce slabs? And we're gonna bring this level down 1 more block right here, as you guys can see. And then... Okay, we're gonna need grass, but we're gonna basically just go ahead and drop this down too, and then we're gonna fill this in with coarse dirt so that way the path is kind of basically the same idea like that. And obviously we're gonna have to bring down with the slabs a little something like that, and let's just bring this down. Perfect. Okay, I think that will do... Now, I just got to see if that's actually the level I want to be at. So if we're going up... Okay, I need to collect all my resources here. So let me do that real quick. We're going to waste a ton of spruce wood if I don't pick this up. So there we go. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like 4 is a comfortable amount. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like the crossbeam should be right here. Let me try this. I'm going to add these crossbeams all the way around, and we'll just get an idea for what we actually like to work with. So something along the lines of this. I want to take a step back just to look at what that looks like, but I think that's going to be perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot more. And then we'll do another 4 on top of that. So let's go ahead and get that done so you guys can see what that's going to look like. And very simply what I mean is we're going 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're adding the cross beams, if I can remember how to speed bridge from my bedwar days. But basically up 5, and then we're going over on all of these to make the cross beams. I'm going to do this. I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, we got it done. So this is kind of the basic idea for frame. Honestly, I feel like I'm making this house a little bit too big, but for it to work how I want with the cliff here, I think I have to. So yeah, that's what we're starting with. Now we've actually got to figure out a design and a layout for this house. And first things first, I think I can just go ahead and fill in the floor with grass just so I don't have to deal with the hole. And this little framework I did earlier, let's go ahead and let's get rid of that. Just like that. Okay, perfect. And now we actually have a decent area to work with. Now, okay, I'm gonna make this house not so boring, so it's not just gonna be a rectangle. And to do that, I think we're gonna have a doorway right here with a canopy you guys will see later. And we might add a 3rd floor, like maybe on this part of the house. I don't know yet. Well, maybe I'll do it right now. I kind of want to see what that's gonna look like, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and plan that out right now. Let's add a crossbeam here, and then we can add this higher part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can bring all these over too. Although this might look really stupid from down there. We'll just kind of see what it ends up looking like. Maybe we end up breaking this part, but it's very simple. I literally just like build all my things in like either 3x3, 5x5, or 7x7 squares, and it kind of ends up looking decent. That's literally what all my houses are. One thing I think is gonna look a little stupid. The house from like when you're right here, I'm not gonna lie, is gonna look really dumb, but that is okay. We'll figure it out as we go. I want to go take a look at what this house is gonna look like from down here. I was thinking a small house, but honestly, this thing is turning into a bloody mansion. So I'm okay with that. Let's see what we can do with this guy. I think first things first. Okay, wait, I'm gonna actually have to lower this trail again. I just realized, which is okay because I can just take the coarse dirt and we can just drop this guy down another block using the slabs like that. And then we'll go over with the coarse dirt like we have been. And let's cut into the ground a little something like that. Add in the coarse dirt so we have a trail, and then let's just make a cliff here so that way it actually makes a little more sense how this all actually works together. Something like that, just a small trail that's going to go into the side of the house. Now I'm going to need some inventory space to actually work out what I'm going to do with the rest of the house. So let's go ahead and dump a bunch of my stuff into here. And I know I said I'm going to use tuff, but I also have an idea. I think pale oak looks really good with tuff, so let's go grab some of that out of Knight's house. If I'm not mistaken, we should have some pale oak moss. Okay, maybe we don't. Okay, no, we do have some pale oak moss. Let's grab some of that. And I just think pale oak moss will make a great complementary block to go with my tough look. I don't know if that made any sense, but you know what? It made sense in my head. So let's go ahead and head back down and get to work on that little house that we're working on. Okay, I'm going to start with the bottom level because I feel like it's smart to work bottom up. So let's grab our working materials we need. Just so it's a little easier to access, we're going to go ahead and throw our workbench setup right here. And we can throw the shulkers down there too. Perfect. And I think what I want to do is we're going to get some polished tuff, and we're also going to get some tough brick like that. And let's get our pale oak moss. And I think this is going to be our triple block setup. And actually, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go sleep so you guys can actually see. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so like I was saying, we're just going to use these 3 blocks and we're literally just completely randomly placing them. See, I think the pale oak looks absolutely perfect with the tuff, so I like this little combo. And I think I'm going to leave a little 3x3 space right here for a big glass window. Speaking of which, I actually think I'm going to go grab some glass. So let's head up to the starter home. And that is another thing. I really got to build an actual storage system because I still am using my starter house and there's just not enough storage in there. So probably in an episode coming soon on the Forever World, you guys are going to be seeing one of those big storage systems being built. Maybe even an automatic storage system. I've never built the automatic storage system because I've always been like scared to in Minecraft, but it's something I've kind of always wanted to try and kind of always wanted to do. So let's grab some glass here. And if there's any form of glass panes. It does not look like there is. So we're going to just take these and let's head back over to the house. I'm not going to lie though. One thing I feel like that'd be really smart would be getting some sort of glass, like stained glass windows. I think would look really good, but I don't know what kind of stained glass windows. So for now, we're just going to do that. So I guess let's just go ahead and let's do all sides of this on the okay, we need to get rid of that. I'm going to keep accidentally placing the wrong block, but we're just going to kind of build these in and see where we're going to go with all these different things. Now I could maybe do, see, I don't know. Like I could do another window here, but with how the cliff is, I don't think that's a good idea. So I think this one, I'm just going to fully build in normally, just like that. And then these back two walls, obviously we're not going to have a window there. So I'm going to completely fill these ones in too. And I'll be right back once I get this done. Okay, I got all the walls done on the bottom here, as you can see, besides this, because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this yet. And one thing I'm getting a little worried about with this house is I'm really hoping it doesn't end up looking super blocky, because right now, I'm not going to lie, it does look super blocky, and I'm not a big fan of that. Not a good time to be recording this since it's raining, but I honestly really like how these walls look. I think these are 3 blocks that go really well together and just have a nice texture and palette. But maybe I should go ahead and get started with this next level right here. I just really don't know what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I've got to figure it out. I might just be simple here and we might just do something like that right there. So I guess let's see what we can do. First off, we can go ahead and grab a couple of these tough brick walls like that, and I could probably do just like a little bit of an overhang. So we're gonna need some grass blocks. Let's build this guy up like that, and we're gonna go 1 2 3 4. 4 sounds good, and also 1 right there. Perfect. And now we're gonna need some wood. I think we're going to go spruce because that's kind of the core theme of this build. So where did I put my spruce wood? Oh, I forgot I brought my shulker boxes down here. My bad. And of course we don't have any spruce fences, so I'm going to head up to the starter house and see if there's some spruce fences up in there real quick. Okay, I went ahead and we got some spruce fences. So you guys know I've done this in like so many houses. It's such a simple design that adds a lot of depth and detail to a build. So I think we should go ahead and add it. Now, what do I want to do for trim? I'm thinking we're going to go, okay, wait, we do spruce there. Okay, wait, I think we're gonna go with spruce. Oh no, blackstone would also look really good. Maybe we go with blackstone. I think we're gonna go with blackstone. So I'm doing so much running around. I need to just place the shulker down and just get my inventory opened up here, because we're gonna go ahead and go grab some blackstone. I hope I have some in my chest so I don't have to run down to the nether. Let's go take a look at that right now. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think I farmed up some blackstone. I did. So we do have a decent little bit of blackstone here. I'm gonna go ahead and just take some of that. And yeah, I feel like I should take it all, right? I can't decide. I think I'll just take a little bit for now, and we'll take a couple sacks there. But yeah, I remember farming that, I think in the last episode, maybe even the episode before. And it's just always nice to have some extra blocks on hand. That way, when I'm actually thinking and planning a build, I don't need to worry about going out and farming absolutely everything. And Gingy also suggested I use blackstone for like my roof, so I think this is going to be a very, very nice fit. So let's go ahead and get started with some spruce wood, and we're just gonna go ahead and bring these guys. Okay, wait, we'll do 2, and then we'll have to go. Okay, this kind of sucks, but oh my gosh, I am failing so hard. So if I go up like that, and then we go over, now can I add in a fence? I think, yeah, I can add a fence like that, and let's clear this out. Okay, I literally messed up again. I don't know how I keep doing. Okay, this is actually getting really annoying. So we're doing the outside is gonna be in spruce like that. Let's bring this all the way over here then. And like I said, we're just simply outlining in spruce, and then it's gonna have the inside filled in with some blackstone. So let's go ahead and craft up a little bit of polished blackstone, and we can do a nice little mix of the polished blackstone and the regular blackstone, a little something like this, except these last 2 are going to be dropped down a level. So we'll go boom, and we'll do a polished one there, and then up here we're just going to go boom boom and just kind of randomly fill these in like that. And then I'm going to have to bring that guy up a little something like that. Okay, this actually might look really stupid, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I like that or not. And we might be good to just go ahead and add a spruce fence going all the way up like that. and boom, and boom, and a spruce fence right here too, like that. I don't love this. Wait, what if I'm like looking at it from a ways away? I don't know if I like that at all. I'm not gonna lie. I think I might do more of a design like that. So let's go ahead and break this entire thing. I'm gonna get started with this. I'll see you guys once I get the entire thing broke real quick. And I think we're just gonna go down with every single one. So that way we go down 2 full blocks. So we're gonna chop this out and chop that out and finish that out right there. Perfect. And then I should be good to add the connection like that. And we're gonna do the exact same thing on this side. So we're going full block. Wait, this is so confusing actually. And then boom, and then we're going down and we're going down again like that. And I think I'll just make that stay like that. And we'll bring this guy all the way across so it's like a little outline. And then I can go ahead and just fill all these guys in like this. And I want to say that looks, yeah, I think that looks a lot better. I don't know how I feel about the dark oak though. I'm not going to lie. I think one thing, or not the dark oak, the blackstone. I think one thing that'll help, let's get some of these. I'm going to need 2 of these guys crafted, and we'll chop out the tough, and we'll just go ahead and replace those with blackstone just so it kind of matches everything a little bit better. And I can clean up this little mess right here. Works for me. Okay, now I got this little area. We'll do some more work on this in the future, but that is a good start. Okay, so now that I've got all of this framed out, I think it's about time that I can go ahead and get started with this. So I think we're going to go door right here. So like I said, we're just going to outline kind of with this stuff, and we'll do a little something like that. There, we're going to break that because we need a stair, because I really like how the stair looks for this specifically. And let's just cut out a tough brick stair. You put that upside down, adds a lot of depth when you're building something like this. And then we'll probably go with a spruce floor in here. So let's just do spruce. And I feel like the dark oak is going to look really good for trim. And honestly, thinking about it, I actually might swap all this for dark oak. I'm going to give it a try actually. So let's take out all this spruce that I just placed. And I guess we're just going to go ahead and do that onto both sides right away. And then do I have any dark oak wood? I do. So we can go ahead and get started with some of these, and boom, and then boom, and boom, and boom. Okay, like that. Bring these guys all the way over. I feel like the dark oak is just going to go a lot better with this build overall, which is why we're kind of going with this little design here. And there we go. We got that completely laid out. Perfect. And I think we can go ahead and just leave a spot for another little window right here, because I think this is a pretty nice looking design like that. And we could maybe do some more stairs. So let's craft some stairs with these, and let's craft some stairs with these. And then what if I go ahead and chop that out, and we'll do one there, and then we'll go polished tough upside down right there, and I can throw the windows in like that. I think that looks pretty dang nice if you ask me. And there's still a lot that'll have to be done up here, but that's a decent start in my opinion. We also can go ahead and chop out all these spruce fences that I already put in and add in the dark oak ones because they match with the spruce a lot better. Unfortunately, we're out of dark oak wood, so I'm gonna go grab some dark oak wood so I can craft some dark oak wood trim blocks. Okay, I got some more dark oak fences. We can chop out these spruce ones and just get everything to match nice and prettily like that. Still a lot of work that needs to be done up here, but I think that is a decent area to start. Now I've got to decide if I want to do this entire house in the same look or if I want to change it up. Like that house, for example, is the same on the top and bottom, same as that one, but that one has mangrove on the bottom and this brown palette on top. So that's something I need to think about and try to decide what I'm gonna do. I'm kind of leaning towards I'm just gonna stick to this palette because I really like the look of the top. And I guess that means we're gonna have to craft ourselves up some more windows. Let's go ahead and get some of these going. And we can go ahead and get started on the second floor. We're just gonna literally do the exact same thing we did on the bottom over here. And right here, we'll do a nice big window like that. I think that'll look pretty dang good if you ask me. And then over here, I'm thinking I don't want to make this the exact same as below it. I actually want to do a little bit of a patio. I just don't know exactly. Of course we fell, but I do have scaffolding. This will actually make my life so much easier if I just do that. I've got to somehow come up with a way that I'm gonna do a patio. So maybe I'm gonna go look over here and see what this one is like, because I really like this one patio design. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's upside down stairs and then just surrounded with the trapdoor. I might try a little something like that. Let's check that out real quick. So it's literally just, we're going upside down all the way out and around, and we'll bring that guy over too, except fact, I don't know. I kind of don't feel like it looks good with this dark oak. So let's take this out and maybe we'll try the spruce wood for this. Although, no, I feel like spruce wood is going to look really, really strange. I don't know what to do, honestly. How does this look compared to that? Those look very, very similar. Okay. I think just to give it a try, let's go ahead and let's do some of these. So we're going kitty corner and then boom, boom. And then I think I'm going to try cutting it off there. And we just got to go ahead and get the rails going on these guys. So like that. You guys know the drill. I've done these like so many times, but you kind of just do that. And I'm going to need more dark oak trapdoors, but we'll figure it out. Actually, yeah, I literally need one more dark oak trapdoor. So let's grab the, oh, come on. I guess I can open up all these and we can break these ones. And we got to do our little crawl back up to the top. Not too bad. Okay. And then we can go boom, get the last one on there and break the final one. I want to go take a look at what this looks like kind of from over here. Okay, I really don't mind that, but now that I'm seeing it, I definitely want to go with the dark oak. I do not like how that spruce looks. So let's quickly chop all these guys out and we can do a very simple thing on the exact same design over here. I think that looks a lot better. And then we can maybe go ahead and add in the door. So let's go ahead and do boom and then a little bit of a door right there, and we can finish kind of going around here, except maybe we might do a double wide window. I think could look pretty decent right here. So let's leave that and let's go ahead and throw that double wide window in just like that. And I want to go take a look at this from a little bit of ways away again. Yeah, I actually kind of really like how that looks. I feel like I could maybe bring the patio over one more. You know what? I might do that. I think it'll just end up looking a little bit better. So let's break that guy, and then we're gonna need the stairs, and we just gotta bring it around like that. And let's finish adding in the railing like that. Boom. Break that last one. I think that's gonna look a little bit better. Yeah, I think that looks honestly a lot better. So I'm gonna leave that like that. I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, so I've got a decent look on this side of the house. I feel like I want to kind of do something there so that way this side of the house isn't going to be so flat. So I have a little bit of an idea. I just got to see if it'll actually look good. And my idea is it's going to be like a little patio like this. Okay, this is actually going to be kind of challenging to do, I think. But let's go ahead and let's fill these in like that. And then let's make that go up. Okay, yeah, this is definitely going to be challenging, but we're going to try to figure this out. And then let's go ahead and go up something like that, and we're gonna have to do the exact same thing right over here. So in this area, we're just gonna make a little guy that goes up there, and we're gonna have to remove some of the cliff to make this actually look normal and feel right. So let's do that, and then I'm gonna make a little overhang from this roof. So and we're literally messing up already, but something like this, and then we're gonna go upside down. Boom. Oh wait, I'm thinking, okay, how am I gonna have to do this? I don't even know. I actually might have to do this roof out of slabs, but I feel like slabs is gonna look a little strange. But let's give it a try. Oh wait, we already do have some slabs. Okay, I don't need to craft any slabs, even though I almost already did. I feel like that's just gonna look really strange, so I don't want to leave it like that. And let's just try with the slab look, I guess. So we're gonna go up, and it's gonna go up a total of 2 blocks right there. That works for me. And it's just gonna, like, I don't know how to explain what we're doing here, but it's gonna be like a little enclosed patio kind of thing is the goal. So basically like that, and then we're gonna go down one like that. Wait, is this right? I gotta like check my coordinate. So that's 76.5, and this one is 77. So we got to drop down 1 block. So we're going, yeah, so it's going to be right there for that. And then we're going to have to go like down here. Boom. Remove that. I'm just going to remove a lot of this cliff just to make my life a little bit easier here. And this is going to turn into a full block. Perfect. Like that. Okay. That looks good. And now I'm gonna have to get some dark or some black stone to I think that looks stupid right now, but I think you guys are gonna get it. But to make this make sense, it's gonna have to go like that. Boom, boom. Okay, we got that kind of look like that. I think that looks okay. And we're gonna need to craft up a decent bit of polished blackstone slabs. Let's get some of those. Perfect. And I can try my best to fill in what I'm like thinking, so that way you guys can just see and kind of get an idea for what the idea is. So a little something like that, and then all these are just going to go down, and we're just going to kind of randomize through the blocks like we have done with all the previous roof layouts we've done before. Little something like that. And the only thing is this one's in the cliff, so I don't know if it's going to look good or if it's going to look really strange. I'm going to go take a look at it from over here. I feel like, honestly, in my opinion, once I get that filled in, I think this is going to make this look a lot better. I might be completely wrong about that, but let's add in the little fences like that. And then, okay, we're going to clear out some of these, add that. And then I'm going to need to add a wall in here. So let's go get the materials to do that. We have the 3 blocks that we need for that, with the tough bricks, the polished tuff, and obviously some pale oak moss as well. One thing that I always struggle with though is these type of builds where I'm like building inside of a cliff or building into terrain, because it's like, how do you actually figure out what you're going to do is always difficult. But I feel like so far, okay, this is kind of a pain, but so far I feel like I'm doing okay. We're just going to break this because this is annoying me. And then I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do. So I think let's just start simply. We're just going to do a little bit of framework. And I think we're going to go with the same door style that I did earlier. So we're going to do a little window here and then a door right here. But obviously we need some more materials. So let's go craft up a stair, and we got to do this stupid parkour so many times. There we go. And we can place that. And then let's just get the dark oak door in right there. And obviously we're going to do a window here. Inside, it's not going to be a great view, but I mean, it's better than nothing, I feel like. So there we go. Now let's just add that dark oak fence right there. And then I feel like we'll need some light. I don't have lanterns right now. So for now, we'll just add in some torches there and maybe a torch right there. Now I might honestly start the roof over there. I'm not sure though, because that roof is going to face a different direction. I think it's going to be really nice. Yeah, honestly, let's go ahead and let's get started. I can do the walls later, and I really like just seeing how everything is going to look once you actually get everything. So let's crawl up, and we got to get up some more here, and we're going to follow the exact same pattern. So we're outlining with the dark oak, like I said. So down here like that, it's going to overhang one just to add a little bit of detail, and we're going to bring this guy all the way over so it kind of connects into the roof there. And obviously same thing over on this side right here, and then we're going to have to do the little peak thing. So we're just alternating back and forth, upside down stair like that, upright stair, upside down, upright, and then we'll do upside down outwards, and we'll do the exact same thing over here on this side. So upside down, upright, and then I'm gonna have to figure this out. Oh god, this is where stuff starts getting tricky, I guess. And I think we go up like that, right? Yep. Okay, that is the style I like going with. And then in the middle here, let's add the dark oak going all the way into the wall like that. And now we're gonna need some blackstone, so let's go ahead, head down, and let's get the blackstone we need for the build. And let's also craft up some regular polished blackstone, maybe a little bit more, and let's get those. Perfect. And I can head up to the top and get to work on the first roof. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that other roof yet, because I don't know, it's tricky, but you guys know the drill. We're just kind of completely randomizing how these go and mixing it up so there's a little bit of texture in the build. And we're just going to do both sides of this guy right away. And the reason I added the third floor here is otherwise the house is just going to look very bland, and there's not going to be a ton of depth in the build, which I do not want. But yeah, I'm going to finish this. I'll be back in just a moment once I get this done. I think for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to do the next roof. This is an even square, so these are a lot more awkward to build, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. I think it's going to run the same direction. I'm concerned that if I run it the other direction, this house is going to look really strange. So let's go ahead and let's try it this direction and see how it looks. Basically, exact same design. We're just going the dark oak to surround, and obviously we're going to go ahead and do that on both sides, and we got to chop that guy out. Perfect. Overhanging it on each side so it doesn't look like a perfect square is always a good idea. And then we're going to meet this up in the center, going upside down, upright stairs like we did before. And I will see you guys once I get this whole thing kind of outlined so I can move on to the next step. Okay, once again, we're completely outlined. So now it's just time to fill in with the black stone, or the two different types of black stone, so we can once again keep a decent bit of variety and a decent bit of texturing in our roof, which I like to do for all my roofs. Yeah, I'm going to fill this in. I'll see you guys once I get that done. Okay, this is what we got so far from this side of the house. I'm actually really liking how everything is coming together. There's a lot of different levels, a lot of different designs, and it just makes for a not boring build. We've got this that sticks out 4 blocks, that's out 1 block. Like, there's just different stuff on every part of this build, but there's still a lot of work that has to be done. So I think it's time we finish filling in the rest of the walls on this. I'm gonna go ahead and get those blocks and get started. And before I can get those blocks, I need to clear up a lot of space in my inventory, unfortunately. And I'm probably gonna need a good bit of tuff, so let's grab some of that. And we're just gonna throw some of that straight into the stone cutter and get the actual tough blocks we need, being some tough bricks and obviously the polished stuff as well. I swear I have another stack. There it is. And let's get some more tough bricks, and we can go work on some more walls with our yeah, we have literally everything we need. We have the windows, literally everything. So let's go get to work. And I was originally maybe planning on doing some white in the upper levels, like I said, but I think I've decided that I'm gonna not do that because I kind of don't want to. But let's just get started by randomly texturing. This one I don't think I'm going to throw a window in because there's the roof right here. So I think we'll just leave this a normal wall. Something like that. There we go. I think that looks fine up here. Thinking we're probably gonna do something like that, and then we can fill these guys in there, and one right there, and then a little glass pane just for a little detail work. Although I just realized that's dark oak. I was using spruce, so I'm gonna have to come back up here later just so I can make this actually work properly, because I don't have any spruce on me currently. And this one I think we'll do just one of those 2x3 windows. They're always good and easy enough to do that I'm not really worried about it. So I feel like they're just a great way to get away with being lazy. So let's add in one of these right there. And it also works perfectly with this little roof we got going on here. And over here, I think I could go ahead and throw another balcony right here. So I'm going to need to go grab some materials first. I think while I'm here, I'm going to need some more trapdoors. So let's craft up some of those, you know, maybe even some more. I'm going to just craft a bunch of them because they're super useful. And I'm going to be putting a balcony up there. So I think it's just a good idea to have. And it's a very simple balcony design. You guys have seen me do this like 100 times at this point, but we're just doing the same stair balcony design that we always do. Basically upside down stairs all the way around like that. And then honestly on this one, I might do something a little different. Instead of that, let's chop that out. Let's add a spruce log there, a spruce log there, and let's bring some dark oak fences up on both sides like that. And we're going to add in a dark oak button on the end of this guy and a dark oak button on the end of that guy too. And then I think we could basically just bring these, wait, I can make these guys go out like that. And then I honestly want some fence gates, I think. Let me go grab some fence gates real quick. And we somehow did. This is the annoying part about building. I don't know where my other scaffolding went. I had like 60 when I was in the last video when I was building that stuff up there. But now for some reason they all mysteriously disappeared. But I think this is going to help differentiate the porches and make this a little different. I'm honestly pretty excited for this. Okay, now we can throw in, this is going to be a little bit more challenging, but let's throw in a bunch of these guys like that. And then honestly, this might be a stupid idea, but these trap doors underneath to kind of hold that up, I think that might look decent. Let's go take a look at what this looks like from kind of like down here. Yeah, okay, I really like that. It makes this part of the house a lot different than everything else, so I'm gonna leave that like that. Okay, while I'm up here, I might as well go ahead and fill these in. So we're going spruce logs now that I actually have my spruce logs, just like that. And then we're gonna do a little something like that, and we're gonna add in the windows and fill in these other areas. Perfect, that's done, that's great. Let's get rid of these. That was easy enough. And now we can go in here, close that, and I've got to get started with one of these. So let's go ahead, and I think we're gonna do the 4 design. So we're gonna start with the upside down stair like that, boom, and then we're gonna do, I guess we're just gonna put the door in right there, and we're probably gonna do the porch on the opposite side. On the other side, you guys will see what I mean in just a moment. And let's just go ahead and fill everything in besides where the window's gonna go right there, and let's go ahead and fill the window in. And I think we should probably consider adding some light. I want some lanterns. That'll be something I'll get later, but that's a decent start right there. And now we can probably go ahead and just do the same thing right over here. So honestly, I'm going to copy basically exactly what I did on that side. So we're going upside down stair, and we'll get our little door in. Perfect. Okay. And then we're, oh my God, why do I always grab that? Okay, we're just gonna fill everything in. I'm copying that, but it's on opposite side this time, just so you guys kind of have an idea what's going on here. And we can throw in the window right there. Now I've got to figure out, how did I do this porch exactly up here? So I'm pretty sure we're gonna stick out a log right there and stick out a log, I think it's right here. We're gonna go button, and we're gonna go button again. Perfect. And then we're gonna go these fences all the way up, including one on top of the button like that, and same little thing right over here. And then how do you get it on top of these buttons, bro? This is actually kind of challenging. There we go. And I should have the perfect amount of dark oak fences to kind of fill this space in. Literally have the perfect amount. Okay. And then we're just gonna go upside down stairs all the way and finish filling in the patio with these little whatever you call that. Oh wait, no, that looks weird, because now the fences, wait, I need to like step back and take a look at this real quick. Like, does that look weird? I feel like that looks weird, right? I might leave it for now, because I'm 90% sure that's what I did on the other side, so we'll just kind of see how it looks later. And I suppose I gotta get up there to fill in the spruce. Okay, of course, dude, what is my parkour skills are just not it. I think all I gotta do here is add in spruce, and that should be good. And then I think we just got these last 3 walls to fill in. So for this this one, I think the door is going to be in the center. So let's go ahead and let's get started with that. First things first, I need some stairs because I use them all. So let's head down and let's craft up some stairs. And I think we'll go with some stone brick stairs this time, or tough brick stairs, I guess it is. And upside down stair. And then let's get the dark oak door in. Okay. And then the rest of this is just going to get filled in. You guys know the drill. It's very simple. We're literally just copying the same thing like that. And then if I come out here, yeah, that's a little strange. Like, I feel like you don't really know this is here, but I think the main entrance of the house is going to be the bottom one, so I'm not worried about it. And we'll add like some trees, some shrubbery, maybe some rocks in this area right here as well. And I think we could do a giant 3x3 window here, so we're just going to go ahead and fill everything in around to get my 3x2 window set up. Boom, boom, and then let's get the windows in. That looks pretty decent. I think for a little bit of texture building, we're going to need to add that. This is like such an awkward area to get in, but it's fine. It's okay. And this is what the house looks like from up here. It definitely doesn't look nearly as good from this side as it does on the other side. I think adding in some lanterns and stuff will help with that, but it doesn't look bad either. I think all we have left is this side here, but I want to go take a look at what this looks like actually from the front here. And to do that, I got to clean up any of my building materials so I can actually properly see everything, and let's go take a look. Like, honestly, from here, I really enjoy and appreciate the look of this house. It's simple. It's a lot bigger than I expected. I was going to do a lot smaller of a house, but I kind of like it. And then once we actually get some stuff, some shrubbery, some rocks all around the house, I think that's going to help a lot. Okay, so all I have left is these two open areas. I'm trying to determine if I want to do a big open window here or a patio. I'm kind of thinking it's gonna have to be a patio, because if I don't, okay, but a patio is also going to be super weird here. If I don't do a patio, this side of the house is going to be really flat, but I think I'm going to have to do something else to figure out that problem, because a patio is going to look really weird here with the cliff, especially with how the rocks are going to be later that I set up. So for now, I think we're just going to go ahead and start building the little 2x3 window. I love this window design. It works so well for literally anything. And we can throw in the window right away. There we go. And now I should probably just build up a little bit and also patch in, oh, wrong thing there, but I got to patch in the spruce logs right there and fill these holes. You guys know the drill. I've done like 4 of these already, so you guys know literally exactly what I gotta do. And add in some glass panes right there. Perfect. Okay, I want to go take a look at the house from a little bit ways away, because I think for the most part everything outside is done. It's now just gonna be a matter of me adding some small details, which actually I should go, I'm gonna go right now, go grab some lanterns so I can actually do the small details I need to add to the house. Okay, so here's the view of the new house from over here. I'm actually really liking it. It still needs a lot of work. Like, there's gonna be some greenery in this little area, and just all around the house I gotta decorate, but I'm really liking how it's looking together. Also, I've been working on it so long, basically the entire wheat field is ready to harvest, but unfortunately I don't have the inventory space to harvest it. So let's see if I can get some real quick. Let's place down all my shulkers, and I'm gonna try to just completely clear out my inventory. And it looks like I barely have enough room, and I'm gonna just take a moment to harvest the wheat field. I think this is time number 3 of the video. If you guys know, down below in the comments, let me know. I will see you guys once I finish harvesting this wheat field. Okay, once again, we got the entire wheat field harvested. We're gonna go craft up our 47 hay bales real quick. Oh, it's only 46 this time. That's kind of sad, but it is what it is. And that should fill out that stack. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more stacks of hay bales to go. I honestly feel like next episode that will be completely full. Okay, so basically the entire shell of the house is complete. I just gotta add some details, do some interior work, and then the house is done. This side doesn't look very good, but honestly, I don't really think I'm gonna be on this side very much, and there's probably gonna be another house like right here, so it's gonna be covered up unless you walk around that other house, so I'm not really worried about it. But I think it's time for me to go ahead and get to work. So we've got 4 shulker boxes here. Let's get these down. I asked Knight for some opinions, so I'll be right back while I talk to him. Okay, so first things first, I'm just gonna simply add in some lanterns. This is a great way to add some detail to your build. Okay, of course. How am I gonna get out there? I gotta get some blocks to actually be able to build here. Yeah, like I was saying, it's a great way to add detail to a build. It makes everything look so much better. Like, if you guys could see it, like, look over there. Wait. I use lanterns absolutely everywhere. It just makes builds look so much better. I love it so much. So we're gonna go ahead and add lanterns in all these areas. And I might, okay, we need to break these scaffolding. I completely forgot those were there, but then we're also gonna go a lantern maybe right there. But can I not? Hello? Okay, apparently I need a dark oak slab, so let me run and go grab one of those. Of course, we're parkouring on the side of the roof, and I don't have the stuff I need. Okay, dark oak slab. I have 2. Come on, I have to have more than that. I do have a little bit there. Let's grab some chains right away, too. Some oak leaves, and maybe some dark oak trapdoors, some dark oak fences. Anything I can use. Some grass for some plants. Just any small things I can grab and end up using for a little decoration. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in the front. I'm going to do this side. We're going to do like a little bit of like parkour around here. And then we're going to hang. Okay, wait, first that. And then we can hang that. There we go. We got that lantern up. And I think I'll probably end up hanging one from right here as well. Looks a little weird, but I'm not really going to be in here too much, so I'm not too worried about that. And then, yeah, no, I'm not going to do it there. I think that's going to be fine for in here. Definitely going to need to break that dark oak. Okay, where else? I feel like hanging off of these things, so maybe we'll go chain, and then maybe on this side just one chain, and we'll kind of like uneven these. I think that could look pretty cool. And then, yeah, we have one on every side of this thing, so I'm going to break this little scaffold work that we got going on here, just like that. We've got 2 over here, and then the only other thing I can think of really would be adding some under here. So maybe I'll hang one there. We'll hang one there. That looks decent-ish. And then do I want to hang one from under here? I don't know. Like, I feel like one right there maybe could look decent. I want to like step back and actually take a look at what this looks like. Yeah, I think that makes the build look a lot better. I'm not gonna lie, I like that a lot more. And I still got to do some stuff here. You guys are gonna see. I don't really have a plan for it yet. We'll figure it out as we go, but I think this front side is pretty good. I think one thing I could do maybe would be, oh, actually, we need some blackstone. Let me go find some blackstone out of my shulker. And we also need my stone colors. Get that guy down. Let's get the crafting table down too. And oh, wrong thing. Let's craft up a couple of these blackstone things. And then just for a little bit more light up front here, I think I'm going to throw that guy right there. And then we can maybe do one of those on top. And boom, a little lantern on top of that. I just want to look at what that looks like from up here. Yeah, I think the front side of the house, besides way on that top level I need to add some, looks pretty good. So before we move on, let's go up to the top and let's add those in. So first of all, these torches definitely do not need to be here. And we can go ahead and add a 1 lantern right there, and the same thing over here. And while we're up here, I might as well do that in the front side of this build as well. And it's nighttime, so I'm gonna go take a nap real quick. Okay, I think we got the house lit up good enough. I like how this looks. Like I said, I don't love this side of the house. I think the other side of the house looks really nice though. So what else can I do? I think I'm gonna add a little flower pot here, just like I've done before. Actually, I have a different idea. With the bushy leaves, I need to turn it on 1 second. Okay, I lied. I do not have the bushy leaves texture pack on this PC yet, so I need to log off, go install it, and add it. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the bushy leaf texture pack on. So I believe if I place a trap door, yeah, it sticks through it. And okay, I think we're going to use signs. So I got to go grab some signs out of the house. Hopefully I have some dark oak signs in the starter house. I'm going to go take a look. Yeah, basically what I'll do, I've done it in some previous builds. It makes it look like it's like an overgrown like bush box. I think it looks really good to decorate houses with. Okay, I've got 4 signs. So I'm just going to show you guys what I mean. But we need like some sort of thing to stand on here. But like you can see the leaves kind of stick through the trapdoor. So that's kind of what I mean. And then you can do these signs on the side and you get the same look here. I just love how it looks. I think it makes a great decoration under like these top windows like that. And we can just go ahead and clear this up, and that makes that look a lot better in my opinion. And we'll probably just go ahead and do the same thing up here, although I'm out of dark oak, so I'm gonna have to go craft some more signs. Hopefully I still have some. Oh, hello pillagers, what's up guys? That is a lot of you. I need to deal with you guys real quick. Okay, there's one with an enchanted crossbow. That's kind of scary. Oh, 2 of them actually. They take a lot of damage for having sharp 5, I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay, they're done. And we got an ominous bottle from it. And honestly, the ominous banner, I feel like could look really good on this house, especially here since there's like no decoration. If we could throw that there, I'm gonna leave that there for now. It kind of matches the walls. I kind of like how that looks. Okay, we've got some more signs now. If I can parkour up, there we go. And we can go ahead and add these signs. Can I add this? I don't think I can do the trapdoor. I cannot do the trapdoor on this one, which is okay. I just gotta go ahead and go to the other side and do these 2 things on this side now, or 1 thing, I guess. There's only 1 roof on this side. So we're doing leaf, and then let's add the dark oak signs again, and a dark oak trapdoor. Perfect. That is some decent looking decoration I like. And it also kind of helps to just give a little bit more depth to the build and add that little thing under the window, which I think is very nice. Although, can I hang a lantern? Maybe I can, but what if I do a chain and then a lantern? I might do that because it's really dark in that area. So let me do that. Let's see if I should do one on this side. So a chain and a lantern. I think I should for the top because it's really dark in the middle otherwise. Okay, I got most of the outside of the house done. So now I want to do a little bit of work on the interior. So I'm going to start by throwing in some torches, and then we're going to dig out the bottom floor just so I can actually put a floor in. And luckily for me, it's all grass and I've got efficiency 5, so that should be nice and easy. And I think for the bottom floor, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to replace it in completely with spruce slabs just because it's easy and it'll look pretty dang decent if you ask me. So let's go ahead and let's do this whole floor into the spruce. There we go. Maybe we'll add another torch right there, another torch right there, and bottom floor done until we decorate the interior. But I've also got to add a floor to the top, so let's go ahead and get that started right now, which I think we're just going to use dark oak because it kind of matches the whole look of the interior. So let's add this entire dark oak floor in real quick. And there we go. So now, okay, I still got to do the roof. I don't know what we're going to do with the roof out yet. I'm kind of thinking I might just do tough, but let's go ahead and let's get some torches going in here. Maybe one right there. And let's go figure out what we're going to put in for the roof and the third floor of the house. And I was going to do tough, but I think it's going to blend too well with the walls. So I think just because I have access to it and it's easy enough, I'm actually going to need some ladders. So let's go run over to the starter house and see if we have any ladders over there. Okay, so first things first, it would be really easy for me to do this. So I'm just going to add in the little roof right here in this section. Although I'm stopping and thinking I definitely want to come up here and just throw some torches in so I don't have to worry about monsters spawning. And that should be good. We can clean this up. And then let's go ahead and finish adding in these black stones there. But then for this level, I want a ladder. I don't know where the ladder is going to be. Honestly, I'm thinking, okay, I can't really do the corner. Maybe we'll do this corner right here. And then once again, we're just going to do the exact same blackstone setup. Boom, boom. And wait a minute. We have to go up one block, actually. So let's go. We got to break that. And then there we go. This is the level we actually need these. Let's add in the floor real quick. And there we go. Now we got third floor. Don't know what's going to go up here. And of course, I forgot that up there. I think I'll just throw dark oak. I could definitely choose something a little bit better, but I'm too lazy to go grab a different resource. So this will work. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the color palette of this house. I think the tough with the pale oak moss just looks really well together. And lastly, let's just go ahead, add in some torches for a little bit of lighting. And then I'm leaving this for now unless I end up decorating this in the future. As you guys can see, we got balcony up here and another little balcony right up here. And this is going to be a really nice view, especially when I put houses there. I'm thinking there's going to be a little house right there on that little like upper piece. I'm not sure yet, but we'll just see as we go. And then also one there. But I think that's going to be everything I do for the interior of this house for now, because like you guys know, I hate designing interior. So I think it's time I start working on some exteriors again. Okay, so there's one more small thing I want to do for a little bit of decoration. I don't know what I'm going to do with this side of the house yet because this side of the house is really flat. It needs some work, but like I'm saying, I don't know what I'm going to put there yet. But one small thing I like to do obviously is little flower pots. So we'll just do 3 grass like that. And then for this, I really like the look of these spruce trapdoors. I think these are the best looking trapdoors and they work in almost any build. So we'll just add those to make like a little flower pot. And then we'll go and throw in some random flowers and maybe a peony on that side. I think that looks pretty decent. And we could maybe go ahead and throw another flower pot right here. And this one, okay, I think since I'm doing this, we got to remove that and do that. And this one, we'll just do a poppy because I have so many of them for my iron farm. I think that looks decent. I can see we could maybe use another one right up here. Okay, of course, I'm going to need to like grab some blocks and build myself a little walkway to parkour on. Once again, let's just add in the grass, add in the spruce trapdoors all the way around. And then we can obviously go ahead and just add in a couple different flowers like that. Break up the little stuff I used to get up here. And let's go take a look at the house from a little bit of ways away. I think that helps out a ton. Although I've got one more idea I want to go give a try just to give a little bit more color to the build. And you guys have seen me do this about 100 times already. Also, sorry if you guys noticed my voice a little off. I did pick up a cold since the last time I recorded, so I might sound a little roughed out. First things first, we're going to need to craft ourselves a couple composters. And we're going to have to parkour our way on top of the roof. And let's throw the composter down. And 2 leaves on top of that for a little plant. Let's go take a look at what that looks like from over here. Yeah, I definitely like that. That helps a lot with the build. I might go add one of those up there as well. And luckily for me, I've got like a perfect staircase all the way up here. Let's add in another composter and of course the 2 leaves. And we're probably gonna do one up here too, so I guess we gotta go craft up some more composters. Let's just do 3 this time, even though I'm pretty positive I'm only gonna use 1 right there and the 2 leaves. There we go. And then honestly, just to kind of cover some stuff up over here, I'm gonna just throw in a couple of leaves like that, so it kind of looks a little bit like a bush. It doesn't look great, but it makes it a lot better than it was. And then since we've been using peonies for a little bit of decoration, I think I'll just go ahead and add a couple of those guys in, as well as some pink tulips and some alliums just all over the place for a little bit more decoration. Okay, I think I'm pretty comfortable with the look of the outside of the house. I'm honestly just loving how this house came together. I think it looks perfect here, especially alongside the river. The only thing really left, like I said, the interior, but that's not even close to the first interior. I've still got 4 interiors there and then 2 back there. Also, both the interiors of those 2 buildings I built in the last episode before I do this interior here. But one thing I can do is add a trail. So I want a little pathway out the front of this house, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with that. And it's gonna be a very small, simple pathway. We're gonna use coarse dirt like I have previously, just like that. And then it's obviously gonna go and drop down a level, and it's probably just gonna be 1 to 2 wide, I'm thinking, but something like that. And then hugging along the edge right here. And honestly, like originally I was thinking I'd bring it around here and then bring it up along the house, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Like, this is definitely gonna be a trial and error game to get it around. Yeah, this is rough. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe, okay, actually I do have an idea. I'm thinking I could do like a little rock maybe right here, using just this very simple block palette, andesite, stone, and cobblestone, a little something like that. And we can bring this guy up and bring him in, something like that. And then we can add in a little bit of extra detail around, so let's add in like an andesite slab there and maybe one right there. And then I can bring the trail over 1 more block, and we'll also just bring it down like that, I think. And then it's gonna be like you walk on this little rock shore here, which honestly I might finish out that way. I need to go sleep so you guys can actually see what's going on. Let me go do that real quick. Okay, I was thinking, and I think what I'm gonna do is like I did a couple episodes ago, like I made the stairs that go up the mountain up there. I think I'm gonna do the same thing here. So we're gonna have this gradual decline that goes like slab, the coarse dirt, slab, coarse dirt, like that. And then once it gets here, I think I'm gonna do stairs, because the problem is it's just a little bit too steep of an incline to just do the slab. Although it does look better, I think for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna have to do stairs. So we're gonna just bring these stairs going all the way down, probably till about there. And then I think for the rest of this, I could probably just go ahead and get away with the slab method. We're gonna have to go 1 more stairs, I think. So let's do boom, stairs, and then we can do coarse dirt, and then we're gonna wrap around using the slab like that. Perfect. And then we got the trail going all the way down the side of the house, as you guys can see, and it just goes down around this rock, which I think I'm gonna expand the rock and make the rock actually like down here a little bit more too. And honestly, probably just gonna expand this all the way into this, a little something like that. And then I can also just add in a slab and a slab, and we can just kind of work with things, make things work, make things look good. So it's gonna be like you're walking along this stone shore here. And yeah, honestly, I'm just gonna keep on expanding this upward, and it'll probably stop about there. We could probably throw an andesite wall right there, and then yeah, it's kind of like you're walking down here. And then I also can use one of these little cobblestones just to add a little bit more depth to the build. Can I get that? Okay, that's floating, so maybe not right there, but these little heads I like using as just little decorations. It's kind of like a little rock right there. And I think I could probably cut into here, add a coarse dirt right there. That looks okay. And then unfortunately, since I have these trap doors, I can't add flowers or anything here, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I can add a little flower right there though. That looks okay. And then obviously the trail's also going to go out this way. I think eventually, maybe soon here, I'm going to put another house right here, but that looks pretty decent in my opinion. Just like a nice little rock shore along. And I could still go ahead and add in some more stuff. Like we could throw in maybe a stone block right there and another wall there, and maybe a stair like that. You guys get the point. Maybe I'll take take a look at what this looks like from the dock. And honestly, I don't think that looks bad. Just that under there definitely has to be broken. And we can go ahead and just replace it with some andesite. Maybe we'll just add in some slabs just to kind of add a little bit more detail, as well as andesite walls never really hurt. I think this actually looks pretty good besides this staircase. But honestly, I don't know that there's anything I can do to make this staircase look better. I guess one small thing I can do that I ended up doing to the other one is just replacing a couple of these stairs with some mud stairs and some granite stairs throughout, just to add a little bit more depth and color. I actually like that a lot. Maybe I think we might swap this one out, and I think that looks pretty good. I feel like that makes this look a lot better. Now I do want a lantern because I do have a little idea for another decoration, so let's grab one of those real quick, and it'll be a good way to just kind of light up the path a little bit. Let's add in a little lantern right there, and maybe another one right there just for a little decoration. And then yeah, this looks pretty decent. Now I just got to figure out what I'm going to put in this plot of land right here. I'm thinking I might do a little waterfall. I feel like a waterfall could look pretty cool, so maybe we'll go with that. Okay, so in the last episode, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. I built this little fantasy tower that I absolutely love and adore, and we also built this little fantasy house. But also in the last episode, I built this little waterfall. I'm thinking something like this from like underneath that orange house into the river could be awesome. So I'm thinking this little like stone kind of outline kind of thing, except I probably won't use tuff. We'll probably use stone with a waterfall from the house going all the way down to the river. Let me go over there and show you guys what I mean. Okay, so very basic idea. I would have like the water maybe coming out from like this block here, a little pond, and then it's gonna go off the cliff here. I think that could look awesome. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. So I think I want to bring all of my shulker boxes and my full work setup a little bit closer here. Let's grab all those. As you guys can see, I grabbed another shulker because I am running out of space to store things. Let's get stone cutter down, and then my crafting table down right there. And I'm thinking basically just a stone andesite cobblestone mix, because it's gonna match with this rock right here, and it's also gonna match with the rock shore that I'm using right here. So let's get started. And first things first, I've got a little bit of digging I gotta do, a small little bit of excavation, so let's get started with that. And then I'm thinking that it's gonna come out of the house maybe right here. So let's dig around here and just add the random blocks in, and the waterfall. So I'm thinking it's gonna go into this little pond, and I'll kind of bring this pond out and open this pond up a little bit. And then I'm gonna have to remove some of this greenery. I'll maybe add some back later, but you guys are gonna see what I mean. And then we're gonna do just like a little stone kind of pond all the way around and alongside the cliff, I'm thinking. And then obviously we're gonna be able to build up like boulders like that, and we'll build up another boulder here. And I think I'm gonna have the waterfall run actually down right here. So I'm gonna probably spend a little bit of time. I'm probably gonna take a cut so you guys don't have to watch me do this, but basically I'm just adding in some rocks, adding in some cliffs, and then yeah, you guys are gonna see what I mean in a second, and maybe it'll make a lot more sense when I can actually show you. So I will see you guys in just a moment. Okay, this is gonna be a work in progress. I've got kind of a very basic little water pool started, so I'm gonna go grab my water if I can find it. I don't know where I put it, but I have 2 water buckets normally. I can only find 1. That is not a good sign. I don't see my second water bucket anywhere. So I guess logically that means I'm gonna go up to the starter house and craft myself another water bucket, because frankly I don't want to build all this without 2 water buckets. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so we got 3 iron. Let's quickly craft up a bucket, fill it up with some water, and then we can come up here and create some sort of infinite water pool like that. And then let's just go ahead and finish filling this out right away. Let's grab some extra water and let's start the little waterfall. So this is kind of what I'm going for. So it's like a little waterfall into a pool, and then I'm gonna break this, and it should waterfall all the way down to the river, which was the goal. And I think for simplicity purposes, I'm gonna get some of these other blocks here, and we can play around with some different things just to kind of get some different builds and designs going. And we can add in some things like some walls, maybe another stair. No, not there, but like like maybe a wall right there couldn't look too bad. And then honestly, this guy probably doesn't even have to be a block. We could probably just throw a slab right there, and some greenery around this I feel like will also help out a ton. But in the meantime, I'm gonna let that flow. I'm gonna go to bed. That way I can, you know, actually work during light. Okay, so I also want to add some moss in, so that way we have like a mossy kind of lush feel for this little river. So I'm gonna go ahead and steal a little bit of moss from Knight's house here. Okay, first let's grab carpet, but then also a little bit of regular moss so I can go ahead and craft that into actual mossy cobblestone. Okay, so I just want to add in a little bit of the mossy cobblestone to kind of give it a little bit more of that lush feeling, I guess, because I think in general it's just gonna help the build look and feel a lot more, I don't know, natural, a lot better. I don't know what the actual word I'm looking for is, so that's the word you're gonna get. But just all the way along here, just add a little bit of green in. And yeah, I don't mind that at all. Maybe we could go do this one right here like that, and then a little bit of mossy carpet as well. Of course, Knight's Online mogging me as always, and I don't mind how this area looks. Now I just gotta perfect the rest of the waterfall here. So I think I'm gonna work on this off of camera a little bit, and I'll be back once I get a little bit of work done on it, and I can show you guys kind of what we got going for the finished product here. But yeah, basically I'm just adding a little bit of detail blocks in, stuff like that. And also, you know what, maybe we could just throw some extra blocks in. Boom, we can add a cobblestone wall there. Never mind, that looks stupid. You guys get the point though. We're just kind of playing with stuff, adding stuff, seeing how stuff looks. I don't like that either. Let's add it and a say. That's a little better, but I'm going to work on this. I will see you guys in just a moment. Okay, so here's what I currently got. As you guys can see, we added in some moss. We added in a couple different decoration blocks, like the stairs, the slabs, the walls. I really like how it looks. Like, I'm not going to lie. I really like how this whole house looks on the riverside here. I think it looks awesome. The only thing is I'm having Knight build one of these cherry trees right there. So I'll be back and show you guys what that looks like when I'm done. Okay, so Knight's down there working on my cherry tree. As you guys can see, he's hard at work. In the meantime, I'm going to go out and I'm going to collect a little bit of grass, because I think I could put some grass on top of some moss blocks. It could be very good decoration to give a little bit of a lush feeling around the hole, or not around the hole. What is it called? Around my little river, my little pond? I don't even know, but I don't need that much. Honestly, 33 is probably more than enough. I've got my moss blocks. I've got my short grass. I think I could just go ahead and we'll just break that guy, add on the moss, and let's add some grass around this place, just like that. Add one maybe right there, and we could probably fit another one in right here. And yeah, I feel like that makes things look a little bit nicer. And then we could probably do one right here, and I'm just gonna add a couple of these around and show you guys what everything looks like once Knight gets his tree finished up here. Okay, so I basically have the entire waterfall area complete. Knight's got this little tree in. I think it looks nice. I'm gonna show you guys the view from the dock here. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love it, especially when I first looked at it. I wish I would have been recording. It was kind of, the sun was setting. It just looks so picturesque to walk through here. Like, I don't know what it was. It was a nice cozy feeling. So we got all 4 of the little cherry trees on this cliff. I absolutely love it. And then also just the hidden little tucked away waterfall coming down as well. It looks so good. But I would say that also definitely helps with that side of the house, because you can't really tell how like normal and blocky it looks now with this. I love it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Next up, I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do next. I still gotta do some stuff up here. I think there's gonna be another building that's gonna go right here, and then also some more buildings right down there, but I'm gonna work on something else for now. And first things first, I need some inventory space, so let's clear out some inventory space here. Okay, with my inventory clean, I actually think I'm gonna head over, because I'm pretty sure my weed farm is ready to go, which I believe will be harvest number 4 of today's video. It's either harvest number 4 or harvest number 5. If you guys have been keeping track, let me know down below in the comments section. But it's basically fully grown, so it's about time that we go ahead and we harvest it up again. Like I've said before, I'm gonna harvest this. I will see you guys when we're crafting up our hay bales again. Okay, obviously the whole thing is harvested. Let's craft up our 46 hay bales yet again. Oh, hello, wandering trader. Well, 1 second, buddy. At this point in my Minecraft career, I truly doubt you have anything good for me, but let's just take a look. Water, milk, yeah, doesn't. Ooh, wait a minute. I don't know if you can grow drip leaf. If you can't grow drip leaf, that actually might be a good deal. But I don't know where his llamas are. I would maybe trap him. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I think he'll stay in the area. Hopefully, I'm going to go run and look at something. Okay, I came up to the mountain to just get a look at my village area, and it is insane where this thing has went because we started out in that little starter house on day 1 back in February, and it is now August 3rd at the time I'm recording this clip, and we have got so much going on. We got our starter house, we got our stable, all these buildings here, and that's not even everything we've done. We've got our massive village that we're still working on, still making progress on, but then you guys know we've got the little mine right there, and then right up here, dude, you can't even see because there's also a house back there and a house over there too, but up here, as you guys saw in the last episode, we built that giant stone arch bridge that I absolutely love, alongside our little fantasy house over there that I think is amazing, and my favorite of all, my fantasy tower build I did. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this fantasy tower is still my favorite build I've done in the world so far. I definitely want to do more in the fantasy build theme, but it's a lot harder because you're kind of like restricted to like white and purple, I guess, but it looks really good. But yeah, I'm excited to keep this forever world going and keep expanding builds. Like I've said before, I eventually want to get that village down there connected up to this fantasy village, like so that way there's builds through the entire thing, but we've got a lot of ways to go before we end up getting that. And here's the nice little view we get just from up here. Still a lot that needs to be done, but definitely looking good so far. Okay, so I decided I'm going to start working on another house, but I want to be a little different with this one. Oh, hello, Mr. Skeleton. Let me just deal with you real quick. What are you doing under my amethyst tree, buddy? But the basic idea of this house that I'm wanting is I want a very unique house. I've built houses in this world on a lot of different materials. You guys saw that was my first tough house I built, which tough isn't that unique, but it was unique to me in the world, so I really do enjoy that house. But one house I wanted to do going forward was in a house out of endstone. So we're currently heading into the nether, or not the nether, the end rather, so that way I'm able to start collecting some endstone for the next house. The only slight problem with that is I honestly don't remember where we have the actual portal at, so it's gonna be a work in progress. I'm gonna look around. I think it's this way, and this, if I follow this, I believe takes me right to the end portal. I did this in the last episode, but that was already like a month ago, so I don't remember it. But I'm gonna walk down this. I'll see you guys at the portal. Okay, there it is. I see the portal. This should be where I need to go, so let's just jump right in and hope nobody ended up trapping the nether portal, because I would be a little salty, but it looks like we're good, and we can just jump right into the end and get started with the process. It looks like I completely forgot to bring torches, so I apologize for the dark environment of the world. I really should have brought a pumpkin too, but I think I want to build, let me try something. So with this endstone, I believe I should be able to craft this into endstone bricks, and I think this is going to be more the block that I want to build out of. So I'm going to spend probably about 15 to 30 minutes farming up some endstone. Probably would have been a really good idea to grab some sort of beacons so I can actually mine this stuff quickly, but I'm gonna spend some time mining. I will see you guys in just a moment once I get all the endstone that I need for the house. Okay, so I went ahead and collected all the endstone I'm gonna need, basically just 8 stacks. Now I think I want to use dark oak as the trim, so I'm gonna need to spend a little bit of time harvesting up some dark oak over here at the forest. And luckily for me, whoever was here last, looks like they kept everything intact very well, so I'm gonna harvest the entire thing, replant the entire thing, and then head home. Not gonna lie though, that is damaging my axe very quickly, so I think I'm gonna avoid using the axe. I'll see you guys once I get this all done. Okay, so I basically have farmed all the resources I'm gonna need, or at least a majority of the resources I'm gonna need, so let's start getting everything down and everything in one area so I know where it's all at. And I'm gonna need some stuff that I used for this other house earlier, so we might as well just grab these shulker boxes and crafting table and stone cutter right away as well. And let's go ahead and get all these guys placed down here a little bit out of the way, but still so they're accessible for me to use. Right there looks like a good spot. Now for this house, I'm thinking of going with a little L-shaped house, and I mean it when I say little. So okay, let me just kind of give you guys an idea here. So I'm thinking there's going to be a part of the house that's going to stick out right here. So first let's start off by building this area up a little bit. And yeah, this looks really weird, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming to make this work. Hopefully I should have some dirt in here, which I do, and let's just kind of terraform this up a little little bit like that. And honestly, I kind of want to cut this hill out a little bit. I don't think it really needs to be here, so let's chop out all of this. And it's gonna look really strange for now, but once I get the house and a couple gardens and stuff set up, I'm gonna fix this to look a little bit better. So let's just break out all this stone and replace it with dirt for the time being. And let's just get a basic idea for what the house is gonna be like. So I'm thinking the house is gonna start right here, 1, 2, 3, and we'll do something like that. And the house is gonna go all the way back to this back corner, just like that. And then what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could probably bring the house over and have it go a little something like that. And I think this will be the basic start of a layout for the house. So now I just got to show you guys what I'm actually going to do to fully build this thing up. Now I'm just going to explain this to you guys real quick. So this house is made out of a lot of 5x5 squares, which gives it this bigger look. And this one over here is going to be a lot smaller, built out of these more 3x3s, as you can see. So the only thing that means basically is this house is going to be a lot smaller like this one. It might even be smaller than this little river house, and it's not going to look like that one. But I think we could go ahead and get started by adding these pillars, and we're just going to build all of these guys up to 4 right away. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to cut back once I get all these guys built up, just like that. Okay, now I think I'm going to bring all the beams across at this level. We'll see as we go. This might end up changing, but I already need some more wood, so let's grab some of that. And luckily for me, I spent a decent bit of time farming dark oak, so I really don't need to worry about it all that much. And that leaves us with these little 3x3 areas, which is going to be perfect for the house design that I'm going for. I think that looks good. And now I think it's time we go ahead and we build up and start working on a second floor. So once again, we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll build all these corners up 4 high. Once again, we're doing all the pillars of the house where I actually want it to be this height. So let's go all the way over. And I think just this part of the house is going to be this height, and then this part of the house is going to stay this height. And I guess we can bring these beams across right away just to keep everything the same and keep everything very, very simple here. And next up, I think I want to work on the actual roof, so we're gonna have to go get materials for that. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I think prismarine would look amazing for the roof of the house that I'm going for, but I don't really want to go farm up a bunch of prismarine, so I'm gonna use some warped wood instead. I think they're very similar, just a slight difference in tones, so let's head up to the Nether and see what we can find. Okay, so like I said, basically all I'm doing right now is we're looking for a warped wood forest so I can farm up some warped wood. I know I have some mushrooms so I can grow it in the overworld if I really need, but honestly, farming it out here is probably going to be a lot quicker, so I'm currently just running around looking for a warp forest. Hopefully I find one. Okay, so I looked around for a little bit. I couldn't find it, so I messaged Knight. He hopped on and he showed me where it was at, so thank you, Knight. We found the warped wood forest thanks to him. But yeah, I'm basically just gonna, you know, farm up some warped wood for a little bit. That way I have the materials I want to use for the roof, and then I'm able to finish, or rather to start out the house. But I also think I want to grab some of this because Knight and Gengi have used some of these warped roots to make like little gardens, and they look absolutely amazing. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time farm up some of this warped wood. I will see you guys when I'm back in the overworld. Okay, I've got everything I need, so I've got a very basic idea. This is kind of probably getting to the point of being overused, but what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna use a dark oak wood as an outline and then warp stairs on the inside. So I use dark oak trim on a lot of stuff, as you guys can see. We used it on that last house we built, we used it on that house, we used it up there. Even, is that dark oak? Yeah, that's dark oak too. We use dark oak a lot, as you can tell, but I don't know, in my opinion, it just looks amazing and it outlines and works so well with so many different building blocks. So I love it as a general kind of center point for a build. But basically, we're just going to do the exact same roof design as the previous house, upside down, upright, and then we're going to go boom and boom, and I think we'll probably chop that guy off too. And then we'll run this down the middle, and we've also somehow got to figure out how to do this roof on this side. And I think the way we're going to do that is chop this out, and we're going to start the roof right here, and then upside down in the center, and we'll just come out here and work on this part right away too. And just like that, and then boom, and we'll break that slab. The only thing is I've somehow got to get this to do a little upside down thing over here. So I've got to somehow figure out how this works. I believe just like that. And we can go out, we can do that. And I think this will look decent if I'm not mistaken. So if I bring these guys all the way across with the slabs, that should make the full level 1 roof design that I need. And then obviously, like I said, we're just gonna go ahead and fill in with the warped wood to give it that little blue aesthetic. I absolutely love it. And we're gonna go ahead and fill in, oh, I guess we forgot a little bit of the outside, so let's finish up the trim with the dark oak here. And yep, see, I'm already forgetting we need to do that. Okay, somehow I think here is where we're gonna start going up, and then boom and boom, and I think that should be right. The only thing is we need an upside down one right there. Perfect. It's hard for me to work in such a small build format because I usually never build this small, but this should be easy enough. Let's fill these in with the warped wood. I absolutely love this wood. It is so pretty in my opinion. And we want to connect that guy into the wall like that. So then we'll kind of bring, oh, this is going to be hard actually. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. I guess we're just probably going to do that. And then, okay, can you please just place the right direction? It's not going to. Maybe if we build down like that, let's crawl back up onto the roof. I want this block to go in the corner like that. Perfect. And we're gonna do the same thing over there. There we go. And then we just got to do a little cleanup work on the underside there like that. And we've only got one more area to fully finish connecting into the rest of the build, just like that. And the first roof should be done. And now all we got to do is the roof here. So this roof is going to run the other direction, as you guys can see, and it's going to be using the exact same format. So we're outlining with the dark oak trim. Do that on both sides right away, just for ease of use here. And then we'll do the upside down meeting in the middle, so that way we have a nice centered focal point on the roof. And same things on both sides. I'll be back once I get this whole thing kind of outlined and figured out for you guys. And then since we got the whole thing filled in, we'll just add the warped wood in the center like we did with the bottom level. And obviously we're gonna have to do that on both sides yet again. And I believe the roof of the house should be completely complete. Now I just wish I would have finished the rest of the house so I actually knew what it looked like, but that's what it's gonna look like. Okay, so for the bottom level, I'm gonna be using this stone brick, stone and polished andesite mixture of blocks, just like that. And we'll just throw a glass pane in that window right away, just because it's an easy way to decorate. And then we're also just gonna randomly place these blocks, little something like that. And since these ones are underground, these ones aren't gonna have any windows, obviously, but something like that looks pretty dang decent. And then we'll probably do the same thing right over here, and we'll throw the window in that one too right away. Okay, we need some torches. This is too dark in here. I don't like it. So let's grab some torches. Let's add a little bit of light in here. And then I think, okay, what I want, I'm gonna have like a little patio, but somehow I've got to figure out a block palette I'm actually gonna use. I don't know what that block palette is yet. I think first, it's hard for me to decide. I want a big window out this end here, so we'll maybe just fully leave that open, and we'll do, oh, actually, you know what? I think right here, a 3x3 window could actually look pretty dang decent. So let's try that out. And then maybe a 2x1 window right here as well. And we'll just go ahead and throw that guy in. And let's throw our little 3x3 window in too, just like that. It's weird because I'm used to building obviously in a lot bigger scale like this house here. This one is going to be a lot smaller, which I'm okay with. And I'm thinking that we'll probably leave a decent sized window in right here too. And actually, no, I'm going to stick to just one of these little 2x2s. And we have the perfect amount of glass for that too, which is awesome. And lastly, let's just craft up 2 polished andesite, and let's throw in some upside down stores right there. And I think I've decided the inside floor is actually going to be out of spruce wood, because I think it'll go well with the dark oak. So let's chop out all this grass, and we'll quickly go in and replace that all with these spruce slabs. And we've also just got to clean up because I'm making a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. And let's just craft up a couple of these warped doors since it's like the trim, and let's throw those guys right there. I think this is my first house in the world that's actually using a double door, and I actually really do not mind it. Okay, then I want to do a little patio, so we're going to dig out some of this dirt, and I'm going to bring these spruce slabs going all the way out like that, and we'll maybe bring the patio over here 1 block too. I think that looks pretty decent. And then let's just go ahead and bring this up. Okay, we need to go like 1 more maybe, and let's go out 1 more, and then the stairs right there. I think that looks pretty good. Let's do a single dark oak log like that, and I think we'll bring some spruce fences along just like that. Like, it looks pretty decent. Let's throw that torch on there, and then let's finish these out into full blocks like that. And then there we go. We have this little patio. It's not really, doesn't have any room for anything, but it looks decent, and it gives me an entrance into my house. Obviously, we're going to connect like this trail to this trail eventually, but that's not a priority as of right now. Okay, another thing I want to do real quick, we're going to throw some torches in this little attic here so we don't get any monster spawns. And then let's go ahead and add in these dark slabs like that, just so we actually have a roof on the bottom floor. And now we can go do the top floor. I know you guys saw me collect all the endstone. Let's go ahead and put that to use. Now, honestly, since this house is so small, I probably could have done the whole thing out of this, but I think I'm gonna like the double texture. And first things first, let's craft up a little bit of glass panes, and then we can get on the roof and start working on this actual project here. And we're mostly gonna use these endstone bricks, but I also just want to add in some normal endstone just to kind of differentiate some textures a little bit. In this back level, I could easily add a window. I think I will add a window just because it's gonna look really stupid if I don't. Could also just not add a window because where it is, the window is gonna be looking in a cliff, so it really doesn't matter. So I think for this one, we'll just do a small little double window like that. And then in the side, I think I might do I'm gonna just stick to the single window, and we need some more endstone bricks because it's a better looking block in my opinion. And then finally this one. Okay, so there's two things I could do here. Number one, I could add a patio. Number two, I could do a giant window. I think I'm gonna go with the giant window here, so let's just add in those. And this one's gonna be a little 2x3 window like that. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and finish in these attics like that. And we've got another attic to do right over here, but this is a little bit of an interesting position, but I should be good to reach the attic from right there. And then we've got two more attics to do, so let's just go ahead and do what we can here. I don't even need blocks here, which is awesome. Let's fill that guy in, and then the one in the back. And this one is going to be very easy to access. There we go. And I forgot we also have a little one right over here, so let's get this one filled in. And it looks like we have a torch in the corner here, which is a little annoying. Let's just do that. Thank you. And then this looks really stupid right here. So what I'm going to do actually to fix that, we're going to make it fully go into the ground here. So let's chop these out and let's add a couple more blocks in, and then it looks a little less stupid in my opinion. And then here's kind of the official look. I really do not like that window. I'm going to have to change something about that. That looks really stupid. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but for some reason that window looks really dumb. So let's get up there and let's figure something else out. This is why I don't like working with these smaller houses, because you get problems like this and you don't really know exactly how to fix them. I might have to do just a 2x1 window to make this actually look pretty decent. So let's try that little design out real quick, and let's get a faraway view from this to see if we actually like how that looks. And yeah, I feel like that's a lot better, but this is the basic start to the house. Now all I got to do is add some small details and do the interior, and it should be good. Okay, now for some small details, I'm gonna just get started here. So first of all, I think we could do a little balcony over here just to kind of fully fill this out, and I think this will look a little decent. So let's go ahead and get the upside down stair, basically the exact same layout we used for that over there, but we're gonna use it over here, and we're gonna chop out the window. And then let's get some slabs in the floor. Okay, of course we don't have dark oak slabs. Why would we have dark oak slabs? And there might not even be any in the, it doesn't look like there is, so we're gonna have to craft some more of those. Let's turn a bunch of those into dark oak slabs. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and add in the little trap door panel or railing, I guess you could say. And we're just gonna go all the way around with this, and we can chop these ones out. I'm not gonna lie, having the existing house here is really nice because it makes it easy to get in these hard to reach areas. And there we go. Then we can chop these two off, clean them up, and we'll go ahead and throw in the warped wood door. Although I need it to craft, let me use my stone cutter, and let's get an endstone brick stair. And just for a little bit more detail, let's chop that out, put that there, and it gives it more definition of the build, which I really like. And while we're in here, let's just go ahead and finish in the floor. Okay, you guys already know the drill, but for basic small details, things I like to do to make the house not seem so square, like I already did here, is this little balcony. And then we also just hang some lanterns for a little bit of lighting. That always helps with literally every build. So if you want a little tip, just hang lanterns like this from the roof. And we'll do another one right there and another one right there. You guys know the drill. All the way around the house just makes it look a lot nicer in my opinion. And then I guess we'll probably do some on this little upper part here too. So one right there and one right there. And perfect. I ran out of lanterns right when I used up all the lanterns I needed. Now, what else can we do? I have a plan here for one of those little warped root gardens, so I'm gonna leave this open area for that, but there's definitely some small things we can go ahead and do. So let's get started and let's find some of those. First things first, let's go ahead and craft up, I'd say about 10 stone brick walls, and we can do the very simple stone brick wall and then boom, some fence on top top of that. Gives a little bit more depth to the build. And do I want to do the same thing over here? Maybe. I definitely am not going to be doing the fence because it's going to be way too big and way too chunky, but I think something like that. And over here, I think we could go ahead and do both of them. So stone brick and then dark oak on top. Perfect. And I think that's going to be good. That adds a lot more depth to the build. Now, maybe we could do some raised garden beds as well. But honestly, first things first, I need to just move all this stuff. And luckily for me, we have a nice big open plot of land right up here on my little patio. And we can also just grab this guy, grab this guy. Don't tell anyone, but we're going to put those guys on my massive patio too. And I guess we just want to extend the pathway. So we need to find wherever I'm storing my coarse dirt. Unfortunately, we have like 30 chests at this point. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this pathway over like that. And we're going to build that in with the coarse dirt. I think we'll probably add one there, and maybe one more right there. And there we go. We have our nice little path that goes into my porch that's being completely eaten by shulkers. Now for this little garden, I'm going to go take a look at Knight's build to get some inspiration because I saw it earlier today and really like how it looks. Okay, so taking a look, this is what I'm talking about. So Knight has this little like coarse dirt underside, and then he's got all these blue warped stems coming out of it. And honestly, I think it looks absolutely amazing. So I want to replicate this right in between my two new houses that I built in today's episode. But first things first, apparently I need to go grab some shears and head back to the nether so I can actually collect the short stems. I don't know if that made any sense. I will show you guys when I'm there. So I'm gonna go grab shears and my elytra. I'm gonna head back to the nether. I'll see you guys there. Okay, so I was talking to Knight. Like I said earlier, I couldn't get these. He told me he thinks it's silk touch. It looks like it is. So I'm gonna take this chance to use my silk touch to get a couple of these short little, what are they called? Nether sprouts. They look really good. I think they'll be good to mix into the garden. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit of time to collect a bunch of these. And honestly, I have the shears. I might just fully use an entire shears just so I have them, and then I'll never have to worry about coming back and getting more of them. That would be very nice. But actually, I think this is probably going to be pretty good. We can grab some of these mushrooms too, because I love the look of these warp fungus mushrooms as well. Anyways, I think that's going to be enough. I'm going to now head back to the nether portal. I'll see you guys back in the overworld. Okay, so I got all of the small basic materials I'm going to need, so now it's time to just go ahead and add in some shrubbery, and we're just going to stay simple with this. Just a little bit of leaves around like that. Maybe add in a little bit of moss carpet for a little bit more detail, and we could go one more right there. Okay, and I honestly might throw a little bit more of these leaves on the backside too, just to add some more greenery. And we'll go under this little patio too, just to make everything look nice. There, I think that looks pretty good. And now time to replace the entire floor with coarse dirt. First things first though, I want to make this little entrance area like some of this moss carpet like that. That way it's a little bit different than the rest of everything. Let's put the coarse dirt in the offhand, and we can go ahead and just start placing in the coarse dirt. And I'm basically gonna do this everywhere in here. So let's just start digging out the floor, and then we can obviously replace it in with the coarse dirt. Very easy, very simple. We'll probably do this one here as well. Oh, no, please. Okay, you know what? Apparently, I'm gonna cause an absolute mess everywhere, so that's cool. That means we do need to add some more moss carpets. I don't know where the moss carpets were that I broke, so I'm just gonna leave it, I guess. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and finish off with the little coarse dirt we need to do, and let's place all that in real fast, just like that. And I think one more right there and one more right there. Now I need to go get more of my stems that I farmed earlier, and we'll just throw these guys kind of around all over the place like so, with a couple of these small ones spread out too. And we're gonna get a decent looking garden like this. We could maybe even add one there, and a couple more, maybe one up there, and another small one right there. And then I also really liked what they did with the bees, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get some of these bees floating in the air and break the moss. In my opinion, it makes the entire build just look a lot better, so I want to get a couple of these guys going around, and maybe we'll do one right there, and then honestly one more will probably be okay, just like that. And I think that looks decent enough. Now I've got my little, I don't even know what you'd call this, blue warped root garden with my little bee enclosure. I absolutely love how it looks. And you know what? I'm going to do one more bee maybe floating right there. Actually, I don't like that. We're just gonna break this guy, and I guess we're just gonna put him inside the house for now, so he can just chill right there. But yeah, I absolutely love this. Thank you for the idea, Knight, and I think Genki did this in his area too. It looks amazing, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so I stopped recording for about 15 minutes trying to decide what I want to do and fill this area of land with, and I think I've decided that I'm gonna be lazy and just do rock. So basically, from way over there, you can't even see it from here, but basically, I think it's starting right there all the way to right here. I have a rock shore. I think I'm gonna continue it because I don't know, it's just sometimes there's things that are just way too hard to actually figure out, and this is one of them. And honestly, a rock shore just looks good in all cases. Also, it's super weird to end the rock shore just right there, so I think for the sake of this, I am just gonna continue my rock shore, and I'm okay with that. It always looks nice, it always looks good. It's kind of a cop-out answer, and I'm just gonna stick to it. It works. So we're just gonna do a little bit of work, add in this little rock shore. We're mixing andesite, cobblestone, and regular stone, and then we'll just add in some small detail blocks and kind of just keep the whole thing kind of going. But yeah, I'm gonna work on getting a basic layout for what I want this to look like, and I'll be back once I get that figured out and get that done. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Okay, I've got a very basic little layout here for what I'm gonna do, and I kind of like it. There's a little stuff like I'm gonna add in some more details here and there, like something like that, maybe another lantern somewhere right here, probably. Boom, lantern. And then also I want to add a little walking path, so a little, like, I'm gonna leave just a 1 block coarse dirt pathway here, and then we're also gonna need some spruce slabs. So if I can find where my spruce slabs are, which for some reason it looks like we use up all the spruce slabs, so do I at least have spruce logs? And then I can go ahead and craft some of these spruce logs into some spruce slabs. That'll do. But yeah, basic idea is I want to keep a little pathway going along here that I can kind of use to get around the house, because right now I don't exactly have that. So something small and simple where, you know, maybe even up here it's just gonna hug along the cliff like that, and I just want it to be small and like it goes around the house, because like I said, in the future I want to put another house right over here. So just having access to this, I think, is a good idea. I think we're gonna throw up another fence right there and maybe a lantern on top of that one, and then some of these somehow, it's really hard to do this because I have so much limited space here, but I want to keep this going. And maybe we'll break this guy, and then around the corner we'll kind of just do that, and then we'll probably go a little bit wider out here. So let's drop down, do a little slab thing, and then right here it'll just continue and go over here. Perfect. But now to make this look a little bit more natural, I'm gonna have to, you know, continue bringing this down and making this little rock cliff that we've been working up here for the last little bit. And I'm gonna bring this guy down right here too, and we might even do like a little bit of an overhang here using some of these slabs. I think this will make everything look a little bit more natural if I can do something like that. And then I'm going to come up here and get a little look at what this looks like. So from outside of the door, we're going to have this little pathway that kind of goes up around. Yeah, I like that a lot. Like I said, just want to keep it small so it's not like a super well-lit trail, but just a small little thing people can use to go along here. And I think we'll go ahead and we'll add that, and we'll add another lantern. You know what? Maybe no lantern on that one, because that one we have the lantern hanging right here, and I can just add in a little bit more design and a little bit more of these blocks like that. And yeah, we're kind of just completely randomly throwing blocks in and seeing what looks good, seeing what works together, and seeing what we can use, which honestly, maybe that there. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more. I'll be back as soon as I get the official design I'm gonna go with. Okay, so the stone shore is basically as good as I'm gonna leave it for now. This is the current view of everything new I built in this video, with Knight sitting in the background. And honestly, so far, I'm absolutely loving it. There could be maybe a little bit more detail in this rock shore, but for now, I'm gonna leave it as is. And I just love how the two new houses are looking together. Next up, I feel like I gotta build a house up there to fill in that little bit of a gap. I haven't fully decided what I'm gonna do yet. Maybe we'll work on this area down here, get another house over here. I really don't know. Okay, with all that stuff done, I want to take a little bit of a break from building, and so what what I'm going to do is I have wanted looting 3 on my sword for a while before I turn in netherite. So my goal is going to be to achieve looting 3. My sword is completely maxed out besides looting, so I'm going to dump everything I have in the chest. Also, sorry about my voice. I am a little sick, so I have like no like ability to speak, so I apologize for that. But what we're going to have to do is get above level 30 right now so I can start enchanting some diamond swords and get looting 3. And I think the best way for me to do that, let me check. I'm pretty sure that our automatic XP farm that I have down here is broken. Yeah, my allays all died. And unfortunately, that means I'm not going to be able to use that for XP. So I think the next best option is heading into the nether. Obviously, if I go to the nether, I can mine up a bunch of quartz, which obviously is super useful for building in general, but also it'll help me get level 30. So I'm going to head into the nether. I'll see you guys once I get there. Okay, so actually I lied. My wheat field is completely grown. So I'm going to take a minute just to go ahead and harvest this whole thing and replant it so I can work on filling out my hay bales. I believe this is harvest. It's either harvest number 5 or harvest number 6 of the video. If you guys know it, let me know down below in the comments. I'm going to quickly finish harvesting this thing up and then we can go ahead and replant the entire thing and head into the nether. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit of time to replant, so I will just see you guys when I'm over in the nether. Okay, I've been running around the nether for a while, kind of just mining up a bunch of quartz. As you can see, I basically have a full inventory worth, but I haven't really gotten any levels because all of it has went into fixing my tools. So obviously we repaired both my pickaxes, my axe, both my shovels, so most of my tools are completely repaired and good. So now it's just time to get level 30. And basically, like I just stated, my only method for getting XP is we're running around the nether and we're mining any quartz we can get. And then anytime some like piglin or anything attacks me, we kill them and get a little more XP that way too. But yeah, very simple. This is my method I use for XP basically anytime I need it. I kind of just run around the nether and mine up a bunch of quartz. And then we also have quartz for future builds because quartz is one of my favorite blocks to build with of all time. But yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit of time. Oh, hello, buddy. What's up? Okay, you're coming in here with me. That's chill. But yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit of time mining, getting some levels. I'm probably going to overflow. I didn't bring a shulker box with, unfortunately, but I'm probably just going to overflow quartz, get to like level 33 maybe, and then we'll head back to the overworld. So I will see you guys more than likely when I'm back in the overworld because I don't think you want to watch me mine quartz. And hopefully we can end up getting a looting 3 sword first attempt. That would be awesome. Very unlikely, but it would be awesome. Okay, we made it back to the overworld safely with about 34 levels. Let's just hope that's going to be enough for me to be able to get looting 3 on a diamond sword. First things first though, I have got a ton of quartz. We're going to deposit right there to get our quartz supply back up. And then I'm quickly going to go put my elytra back down in my ender chest because I don't really like using it that much outside of nether travel. So I'm going to put it back in the ender chest where it belongs. Okay, I've got my lapis, I've got my diamonds, and all I'm missing is a stick. I'm really hoping there's a stick up there in the chest, and I think there is if I'm not mistaken, as long as Cow didn't end up stealing it. So I'm going to head up to the enchanting area and let's just hope we can get looting 3 on my sword. Also, those of you that are wondering, the main reason I want looting 3 is so I can start grinding some wither skeletons so that way I can get some more beacons set up. Currently, we have 3 beacons on the server. I believe Night supplied all of them, so I want to do my part and start grinding some wither skeletons so I can get some more beacons. And luckily for me, we do have some sticks right here, so let's go ahead and craft up a diamond sword and hope we get looting 3, which I didn't have high hope. Let's just grindstone that. And we've got one more try. Smite 4. I don't have high hope. Yep, of course. We might as well smite that one too right away. And I guess we need more XP, so maybe I'm gonna go see if I can maybe breed any animals or anything like that. Okay, so I do want to do a little bit more enchanting, try my luck to get looting 3, but I really don't want to go back to the nether, so I have a different idea. Now, what I'm planning is I'm gonna go over to the tree farm up a bunch of spruce trees, more than likely, turn them into sticks, and trade with a bunch of villagers. The reason I want to trade with villagers is because I'm low on emeralds. I use emeralds to get my cooked pork chops and a bunch of other things from the villagers, so I think it'll be a good use of my time to go ahead and get a new stockpile of emerald. With all that being said though, I'm gonna head over to the tree farm, which should be right over this mountain, and I'll see you guys at the spruce farm. Okay, as you can see, we have made it to the spruce tree farm. I turned my auto tree chop mod on, so all I gotta do is break one thing and it breaks the entire tree. And that's basically almost a full stack of spruce wood in one hit. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time farm up some spruce wood and I'll be able to make a boatload of sticks, hopefully. Without breaking my axe would be ideal. And honestly, I don't even know how much I want to farm. I'm not gonna farm for that long because this is gonna make me so many sticks. it's absolutely insane. Yeah, if you guys want the auto tree chop mod, I basically just use a plugin, a spigot plugin. It's called auto tree chop, and it basically just makes it so that way anyone on the server can break one block and it breaks the entire tree. And yeah, it's definitely super helpful for any projects like this when I need to farm up a bunch of wood, which happens a lot with how much I build on here. But yeah, I'm gonna farm up trees for a little bit. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Okay, I farmed up a ton of spruce wood. I think that's gonna be enough for now. So now I'm just gonna replant some of these large saplings so that way I got trees for the future. Although honestly, this spruce farm is so big, it goes way down there. I honestly don't even need a replant, but I just like to have as many as I need in case of a big project in the future. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time replant these, and I will see you guys once I make it back over to the villager trading hall. Okay, we got our wood. I am in the what's up, Mr. Iron Golem? I will happily take the flower. I am in fact married though. His name is Knight. But as you guys can see, we've got a ton of spruce wood, so let's go ahead and craft a ton of sticks, and my inventory is already full. Okay, but yeah, my goal is to trade with as many of these villagers as I humanly can, so let's just go ahead and get started. Also, one of the things that I'm looking to do within probably the next episode is I definitely want to get a better area for these villagers. Right now, they're kind of just behind Knight's house in a cave, and I would like to get a proper villager trading hall completely set up. But in the meantime, that's not a priority. Right now, I'm just trying to build up a decent bit of... Okay, where are the Fletchers at? What do the Fletchers even look like? But like I was saying, I'm trying to just build up a decent bit of emeralds so I have them for trading in the future. I believe, yeah, you're the emerald trader. Okay, you're done. You can trade with me some more. I'm going to spend a little bit of time trading with these guys. I will report back to you guys when I'm done, and I'll report the emerald gains we made. Okay, I believe I've traded with all the Fletchers that are currently in this villager cave breeding room chamber, and we got just under 2 stacks of emeralds, which I'm not disappointed with. Now, I think I'm gonna use their bed to sleep, and I'm gonna go store these, so I will see you guys after all that. Okay, so I got 33 levels of XP from trading with the villagers. I've got my diamond sword. Let's grab some lapis and let's head up and hope we can get some looting 3 on the sword. Okay, with my enchanting RNG, I don't have high hopes, but we got 2 chances here. Come on, looting 3. Okay, smite 5. Nope. I mean, honestly, pretty good enchant. Smite 5, unbreaking 3, knockback 2, but not what we're looking for. One more try. Okay, unbreaking 3, and we got sharpness 4. Unfortunate. Guess we're gonna unenchant it, and I'll probably just take the loss and come back to enchanting later in the video. And I'm gonna put the diamond sword and the lapis in here and just hope nobody ends up taking it. Not gonna lie though, if Cow logs on the server, the diamond sword is definitely gone. So let's just hope he doesn't log online. Break from building houses. I was planning on building a little medieval blacksmith building right about here. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna do that quite yet because I do want to finish building my little riverfront village first, so I'm gonna go down here and do that instead. So the plan is, like you guys saw, we have this trail that goes over here. I want to do one more house right here along the riverfront, so I'm gonna get started with that. First things first, we're gonna need some wood materials, so let's head over to the tree farm. I'll see you all when I get over there. Okay, for the house I have planned, we're gonna need 3 different wood types. Number 1, dark oak. I think I've still got enough dark oak from the last house, so I'm not gonna farm any right now. Number 2, we're gonna need a little bit of pale oak, so let's go ahead and let's get started collecting some of this. I'm gonna just farm some of this. I'll see you guys after I get enough that I'm comfortable with. Or I might actually just farm the whole farm because it'll be a lot easier to do it that way. Okay, so next up, oh my god, bro, that creeper scared the daylights out of me. Let's deal with this guy first, and then I will finish commentating her. Okay, there we go. That's better. You guys could probably guess by now, but I'm gonna need a little bit of mangrove wood just for the roof. So I'm gonna harvest a little bit of this, and unfortunately, with how mangroves grow, it's gonna be a lot more than a little. And we're gonna grab all of our mangrove wood. I really don't need roots. Okay, oh my god, the whole farm literally is going down. That is not good. I wanted a little bit of mangrove wood, but it looks like I'm gonna have way too much to know what to do with, which is really unfortunate, but you know what, it's okay. Dude, I'm gonna be collecting this probably. Oh, okay, it does end, so I just gotta get to here and replant all these, and then I can head back to the base. But I feel like this is gonna take a long time. Let's put the mangrove roots in there. But yeah, I'm gonna farm all this and replant it. I will see you guys when I make it back over to the base. Okay, we're back at the base with way too much mangrove logs to know what to do with. So first things first, we need to get our materials. And honestly, I think it's gonna be best if I just go ahead and make a double chest right away, or two of them. And let's go ahead and let's bring these down to where we're gonna be working, so I have a little bit of a storage system. And I think for now, we'll just put this double chest right here, and I can dump all my materials in that I have so far. Perfect. Now let's go ahead back up to that other chest and grab all my other materials I'm going to need for the build. I think the most important thing is getting the shulkers and the stonecutter, and then we can just grab any other random bits of garbage, and let's just clean up this chest so it's out of the way. Now let's go ahead and let's get our setup built right here. Okay, I'm literally using all my shulkers at this point. This is insane. And let's get the stonecutter down and crafting table as well, and then let's dump any extra garbage into this chest for now. Okay, this is going to look really ugly for now, but for the sake of having room to build, I'm going to clear up a little bit of this grass just so I have the room. That should be good for now. I can always make that look better later. And then for the actual build, I think we're going to go probably right here. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then a center, and then 1, 2, 3, and then an edge. Perfect. And we can probably just go ahead and bring this guy back. And we can do the same on this side. I think we're going to use dark oak logs as little pillars. So let's go ahead and do that. And then this is going to be very different, but I want middle logs that are going to be like more offset like that. Okay, but there is one thing I don't like. I'm just going to remove the tough, and we're going to stick to no tough. I was going to originally use tough to kind of make everything a little different, but I think I'm going to like this look a lot more. And that means we got to replace these, and we're going to have to go up with these dark oak logs, probably about 2 more blocks at least. Boom, boom. And then the center, obviously, let's just go up with that one too. Okay, so I kind of want there to be like these outer pillars and then this more inner part of this build. So we're going to go ahead and do something like this real quick. And yeah, I'm thinking about 2 tall, and same thing on this side for another big window right here. And obviously we can go ahead and strip these guys down like that, and then we can bring these logs connecting over like that, and we'll go ahead and do that on both sides. Obviously we need some glass. Let me just go grab some of that. If I can find my glass panes anywhere, that would be great. There we go. And let's go ahead and throw these guys in. Boom and boom. And this is going to be a little weird because the house is going to be in the hill, but I think I want the back pillar to be right here, and that means we need another back pillar, I believe, to go right here. Oh, let's go ahead and bring that guy up too, and then we're gonna need some middle pillars right there, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring these guys up too, and we'll just go up with both of them, and then one more right here in the back. The inside of this house is going to be tiny, but the house is going to look huge just because of how I'm building it. And we're just going to go ahead and go with the exact same kind of look right here like that, and let's just do that, and we can throw glass panes in, and then obviously same exact thing. We're just copying the exact same layout all the way around just so it's all different and like that, and then we can cross over with these pale oak logs again. And now we're gonna have to grab some of these solid pale oak wood so I can chop that guy out and replace it with that. Now we got this design on this side, this design on this side. Let's continue and copy those designs right here and in the back as well. Start out by replacing that, and then we can just go ahead and get started. Oh, wrong block, but you guys know the drill. It's very simple. We're just going ahead and doing that, and then stripping and glass. Oh, that is not a glass pane. I meant to say glass pane and put glass panes in, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and finish these last areas, and I'll be back once I get this whole thing in and complete. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I really am liking the layout, but I'm realizing that I don't have nearly enough space to build a house this big, so we're gonna have to scrap the whole thing. Luckily for me, I can go ahead and turn on auto tree shop and make it a lot easier to clear up the whole house, but it's still gonna take me a decent bit of time. So very simply, I'm just destroying the entire house, and we're gonna start over from scratch. I think I'm gonna still stick to this block palette because I really do like it. The only thing is, okay, do I have silk touch? I do not. Let's grab silk touch. Yeah, the only thing is I just don't think I have the room for the size house that I was hoping to build. So we're just gonna have to take it down, start over from scratch, and see what we can do. I'm thinking instead of going 8 wide, we maybe go 5 wide, and that could help with a lot of the problems here. I'm realizing though, once I break all the wood, it's going to be a lot harder to see all the glass and break all that. Like, look, that looks so weird. But hopefully, I'm going to be able to just go ahead and grab all that. Also, got to remember to turn auto tree shop off. Otherwise, things are not going to turn out well for me. And just a couple more pieces of glass, and there we go. Okay, so instead of doing those 2 3x3s, I think instead what I'm going to do is we're going to start right here, 1 2 3 4 5, and we're just going to go 1 2 3 4 5, and boom. So boom, 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 boom. And then I have this room to work with. Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot better and just a lot more manageable in my opinion. So then let's go 1 2 3, and then for this we'll just go ahead and go back 3, and then 1 2 3. Yeah, so it's 3. So yeah, it'll still be the same depth deep, but we're just changing the overall size, so the house is going to be a lot smaller overall. And let's add in some cross beams. I like to just do this right away just so it's done and easy. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have enough dark. Oh, I do. Okay, let's finish these all in, and then let's go ahead and add in the little side building them thingy. So we're going to go 1 2 1. Okay, yeah, so we're going to build this guy right here, and we can build these across. And also, it's going to be really awkward because I'm building in a hill again. I do this all the time to myself. It's fine. You just kind of got to clear out the hill from the inside of the house and make it be covered up by the house and nobody can really tell. So let's clean up all that, and we can build the final one up and add on our little cross beams. And then we'll just add the next floor, 3 4, and 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. And I'm going to leave that for now because I don't know if I want to go one taller with that or not. So now what I want to do is I still want to bring this middle pillar up like that. And then we're just going to go ahead and add in a little area for a smaller window like that. And we'll do one right here as well. And then boom, window and window. And now I want to go take a look and see how this looks from over here. Yeah, I really, maybe not. Okay, maybe this middle pale oak should be chopped out and simply just replaced. I think that'll look a lot better. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and add in all my little windows like that. And then we'll also run one probably right here, even though actually this makes no sense because it's into a cliff. But I guess that has never stopped me before, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And then also we're probably going to throw one right here. Let's throw a window in there. And then this is the part I'm a little confused about. Like, I know I want a door, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to or how I want to do this. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. And then obviously these we're just going to kind of fill in because they're not, I mean, I don't need a window looking directly into a cliff. So we're just going to go ahead and start filling some of those guys and then adding in our planks. And let's strip all those. Although I think I need to bring these guys in one block. I didn't realize. Okay, let me fix that. And we'll just go ahead and do something like that. And fill all those guys. Oh, wait, I literally just redid the exact same thing. We need to bring it in one block, otherwise it's gonna look extremely weird. So let's go ahead and do that. And I guess, well, the back probably doesn't have to be brought in one because it's against a cliff, so I'm gonna leave that like that for now. And we can just go ahead and finish in this top wall and then strip it all down right away too. And I think next up I'm gonna work on roofs because there's some little details I could do, but I think getting the roofs in is going to be a good idea. And once again, we're going to be outlining the roof with dark oak. So I want to find my dark oak stuff. There we go. And then the inside is going to be mangrove wood. So let's also grab some mangrove wood. And let's just go ahead and craft up some more dark oak. And we're also going to craft up some mangrove supplies as well. And some mangrove slabs too. Perfect. And I think we're going to... Okay, do I actually... I don't know if I want to do a normal roof or if I want to do like a slab roof. I think to begin with, I'm going to start with just a normal roof and we can decide from there. So upside down, upright, and boom. This is like the basic roof design I always use. It looks really good. It's super simple. I don't know. I just love it and it's not hard to do. Like some roofs, like I hate building the steep ones. I think they look really nice, but they're also kind of really hard to make. And we can just go ahead and finish wrapping that guy. And then same thing right over here. We're going to wrap that guy all the way in, and then we can bring this guy all the way in too. And we're going to do another higher roof. This one's going to go the exact same direction as the first one. So let's just outline that real quick like that. Except I literally placed it wrong. And let's make this one arch all the way to the top. You guys know the drill. Very simple. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. I absolutely love dark oak as trim for roofs. I think it is the best block to trim roofs. As you can tell, it works with so many things. We use it with the blackstone. We use it with warp wood. And now we're going to be using it with mangrove wood too. Like, it's just, it's so underrated in my opinion. Absolutely love it. And we got that side done. Let's go ahead and do the same thing onto this side. And we also have to connect the two. So it's actually one roof like that. And there we go. That should have that finished. Perfect. And let's add our little peak and break our slab. And let's just connect the two. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in the actual mangrove color. And yeah, I think these go great together. The mangrove with the dark oak, I think looks absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and fill that whole side in. And we're also just going to go ahead and fill this whole side in. And honestly, I probably should add a chimney into this. I haven't done a chimney in either of these two houses. I think that would be a good idea, but I'm not worried about it right now. That'll be an afterthought fact, and I'll maybe add one once the rest of the house is done. And with that done, I probably should go ahead and build up the rest of this. Of course, I forgot my blocks. Let's go grab some pale oak again. If I can find pale oak, we're gonna grab pale oak, but we're not having, okay, there it is, pale oak. And for the top level, okay, I think I'm gonna do the inner walls again, just because I think it looks a lot better. So let's go ahead and do that. And once again, we're gonna strip all those guys just like that, and we're gonna do the exact same thing all the way. So let's just go ahead and work on that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and finish all this, and I will see you guys once I get the whole top layer built in and also all the wood stripped out. Although the inside of this one is not really going to be usable or anything like that. Okay, I should be good to just go ahead and strip all of these logs. Like, oh, if I could reach it, there we go. And last one, there we go. And strip those two, perfect. And then for consistency, we're going to add in that dark oak slab like that. And I got to do that on all four sides, I think. So let's go ahead and add it in right here. One nice thing about building in the mountains like this is it gives me a lot more room to work with, like, walking up this and not needing scaffolding, because usually there is a way that I can actually just, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm not exactly sure. We're probably going to run that over, and then we're just going to fill, oh, that doesn't work though. I think we're going to just do this, and we can strip all those, and then let's go ahead and add in that to hold that up. Perfect. And then I think I should be good to add in my actual mangrove roof, so let's go ahead and let's do that. Of course, we're placing literally all of the mangrove like the wrong direction. That kind of sucks, but whatever. And I need this guy to be straight. Thank you. And then we're also going to do this side right here. I absolutely love the look of the little red mangrove roof. I think it looks absolutely amazing. But there we go. I think that looks decent enough. Now, I just got this little thing, but I think I want to do something a little bit different for the roof. I think for this one, we're going to do the typical leaning roof. So let's chop out whatever we need to chop out here. And this is the unfortunate part about building in a cliff. Like I said, we've got all these problems with this. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of do like a leaning roof all the way into the house here. And we'll go one more and then boom, perfect. And we can go ahead and we can fill it in with the mangrove wood just like that. I think this is going to look really nice when it's all said and done. I think we could take out this inside part and put the dark oak slabs there. I need to go sleep so you guys can actually see that. Luckily, when I'm right here, I got that house right there that I've already furnished the inside of with a nice bed in the corner. And honestly, this is what we got so far, and I actually really like it. So far, I think this looks absolutely amazing, but it still has some work that needs to be done. And what I think needs to be done here is go ahead and fill all this stuff in right here, and we'll strip that, and then same thing right over here. And obviously, we need to go ahead and finish off that. So we're going to go up and in like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to have to chop all this out so I can actually work this properly, but we're just basically going to fill all this in. And let's go ahead and strip all that. And then we can hold it up with these dark oak slabs. Perfect. I'm not gonna lie, from up here it's gonna look really stupid, but it doesn't really matter because there's gonna be a house right here, so you won't really see it. The main thing is I want this house to look good from across the river. And honestly, just taking a look from right here, I'm really liking how this house is looking. It's not perfect, but with my limited space and limited resources, I actually think it looks pretty good. Okay, now for a little detail, I think I'm gonna go ahead and add in these upside down dark oak stairs as a little bit of framework like that, and we'll probably go ahead and do the exact same thing right there. And I'm just gonna go all the way around the house and add this little framework in. So it's upside down stair with some slabs, and then same thing here, upside down stair, slabs. And okay, what do I want to do here? I actually don't know what would be good here. Maybe I could do like a little one of these little arch window things, and then we could throw a little actual window right there on the inside, even though there's nothing inside. And we could throw a little lantern. I actually don't mind how that looks. I think that looks okay. As far as the back goes, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. Oh, okay, wait. What if I chop this up? Oh, no. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I'll figure that out later. I guess in the meantime, we can chop that out, and we can go ahead and craft up some stairs. And let's get the stairs like that. And then do we have any dark oak doors? Because I think I'm going to want a dark oak door. Looks like we have one, so we are going to have to craft up a couple more of these. Let's go ahead and do that. And you know what? While we're here, I'm just going to fill in the floor with the mangrove. I think it looks very nice with the white, so let's go ahead and get that started. And let's go ahead and get that all filled in right away too. And unfortunately, we're one short. Let's just throw the mangrove wood in, and then we need the dark oak doors. Let's get those guys there. And there we go. I think that looks pretty nice. And now for this part out here, I think I'm going to do these dark... Oh, no, wait. Actually, we're going to go dark oak, actually. So let's chop these. Let's throw ourselves in some dark oak, and then the pale oak in the corners. And we're going to do a stripped one there. And let's throw in the glass panes for another little window right there. And we might as well do the typical add the lanterns, give it a lot more detail like that. So let's go ahead and add these in all of these little overhanging roof. Fortunately, we're not fitting one right there, so maybe we do one right there. And we can obviously put one in the back and on the back overhang too, just like that. Perfect. And I think this should... Oh, of course, we're going to need a dark oak slab. And it's going to look a little weird, but that is okay. I think that looks pretty decent to start out with. Now, honestly, I could probably go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to take all of this stuff and I'm going to move it inside of the house so I can work on the landscaping in the area. So let's go ahead and throw in all of our shulker boxes. And I guess I don't have any torches. Normally I do this with torches, but since I don't, we're just going to throw some lanterns in here for some light. And honestly, we're probably just going to have to craft up another double chest, throw that down right there, and let's go ahead and fill that guy up. And then I should have enough inventory space to move the rest of everything inside of the house. You know what? This will be a lot quicker. Let's just go ahead and mine it. And oh no, we're missing... Yeah, I need to get this stuff in. We're missing some shulker boxes out there. So let's get all this stuff put down and hope... Okay, my shulker box has not despawned. That is very, very, very good news. And I guess we have one more shulker box. We'll just throw that guy down right there. Hopefully I don't forget about it there. And I could probably go ahead and start working on this pathway. So we're going to need coarse dirt and spruce slabs. If I can find those, that'd be great. A lot of normal dirt. We need coarse dirt though and spruce slabs, which I'm not seeing any of. We actually might be out of coarse dirt. Oh, no, there it is. Coarse dirt. Perfect. And some spruce slabs. Okay, we are all set to go. And we'll take some oak leaves for a little bit of landscaping work too. And let's go ahead and dig out a little bit of a pathway here. And we can go ahead and get our coarse dirt in. And it's kind of going to just be a work in progress, but we're just going to make it climb up the hill like it normally does. And slabs to increase the incline, and we'll probably go ahead and do another slab right there, another slab right there, and a little bit more coarse dirt, and I think that'll be good for our trail. So now if you walk around the house, you got this little trail that's gonna go all the way down to this area here, which I absolutely love. Now we could go ahead and maybe just add in a little bit of some greenery around here. And then I think in this area too, also just because I'm lazy, a great way to cover things up is just using some leaves. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I think that helps out everything look a lot better. Although we could maybe even up the game by getting some peonies, and let's throw some of these guys up here as well. And I think that looks pretty nice like that. I don't mind that at all. And we could probably just go ahead and do a little bit more of this stuff over here too. And lastly, some more flowers. And then I think I just want the pathway to kind of go out to the river, so that way it's like people can fish from the shore. I think that just makes sense in my mind for kind of what I'm going for here. So like that looks good. So now the official walkway, I'm just going to show you guys from start. Actually, I want to start from the beginning of the video. So we basically started the video up here with nothing done. And we got this nice little pathway. It goes down into the top level of this house. We built this nice little pond over here with the tree knight built for us. And the pathway kind of just hugs along here. We got our nice little bee farm right here, which I love. House number 2 we built. And then our little like cliffside pathway over here, which leads into the third and final house, which I honestly absolutely love. There's one more thing I think that could look good. Let's throw a wall down and let's add a little lantern for a little extra light. And then honestly, I absolutely love how this looks. Okay, so this house is basically done aside from a couple of small details. So I'm going to add little archways above all the windows because I think that'll help. And it's basically going to be the exact same for all these. I think, that looks really stupid though. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to do this. See, it's kind of hard when you're picking stuff like this. Maybe we have some spruce trapdoors. Okay, only 2. That's kind of rough. Okay, there's 41. So if I do something like that, I think that'll be a little better. And then maybe 1 and 1. I think that's a little bit better. And then for this one, we'll do the full 3. And any of these single ones, I'll just go ahead and we'll throw the full 3 on like that. As far as back here, I feel like I need to do some sort of window here, right? So maybe we'll just do a 2x3 window. And of course, we don't have glass. So let's see if we can find any of that. 1 pane. All right, yep, because 1 pane is definitely going to be enough for what I need. Where is the glass? There it is. Let's go walk all the way around and back up here. And we could probably just go ahead and throw that window in there. And then let's add in some bushes like that. I think that helps a lot. And honestly, I think chains would help. So let's go grab the chains because we can hang more lanterns. I don't know exactly where the chains are though. Okay, there we go. Honestly, of the 3 houses I built in this video, this is probably my least favorite, but I also still don't mind it. So we could probably, I was also going to grab dark oak slabs. Of course, I forgot 2 things in a row. Okay, dark oak slabs. I don't see, there we go. We got 32. And you know what? I kind of want to add in, okay, that's too big of a flower. Do we have any smaller allium? That's nice. And then let's also just throw a nice little pink tulip right there as well. And I think we'll just go ahead and add those to the corners. Add a lantern, and then we could probably hang one from here. So 1 chain and 1 lantern right there. And then I think that's going to be good enough for the back. I'm never really going to see it back here anyways because there's going to be a house right here eventually. So I think for now, we're just going to leave that like that. And let's go ahead. We need a roof. Okay, I need to get some torches. Let's go grab some more torches because I am fresh out. So let's head up to the starter house, see what we got for coal, and get some torches made. Okay, we got about 51 coal, and I think somewhere in here, I thought I had torches. Or not torches, I thought I had sticks, but apparently I might be incorrect. Okay, yeah, apparently I'm incorrect, so let's go back over and find ourselves some torches. Or not torches, some wood so I can craft some sticks. Okay, we got some sticks here. Is there any? Okay, there's 10. It's so weird because we got like a bunch of sticks just kind of randomly scattered. Let's get some torches going. And we got 12 of these. Let's just go ahead and throw these up here to make sure no mobs are going to spawn in the upper level. And we'll just go ahead and throw these basically everywhere up here because I don't want monsters spawning. And then we can go ahead and add in the spruce ceiling. And we're just going to use spruce slabs. There's not actually going to be a second level to this. So it's going to be very simple and very small and easy. And then, like I said, eventually in the future, we'll probably end up decorating the interior, but that's not really a priority I have right now. Okay, so I don't mind how this area looks. I feel like this area looks decent. Ooh, actually, I do have one idea. If I have some flower pots, I could throw one of those guys there, and then there's something I need to go grab over here. So let's head up over to Knight's house. Okay, so I've come over here to Knight's farm so I can obviously steal some azalea bushes. I think flowering azalea will look a lot nicer, so let's grab these and let's go. Okay, so with the flowering azalea, I think I'm gonna do one of these, and then yeah, I really like how that looks. It gives it a nice little comfort feeling I like, and there's probably some more stuff we could do, so let's go ahead and add maybe just some leaves around these guys, and we could throw up another one of these azalea pots, maybe one more right there. Looks pretty nice. And then yeah, I think that looks a lot better in my opinion. Only thing is I could maybe even add in some more leaves like here, and also maybe like some lilacs if I can find my lilacs. Let's go ahead and let's throw a couple of these guys around, and I think that looks a lot better. So from this angle, I think the house looks good, and from this angle, I think the house looks good. I'm not gonna worry about this side that much yet, and I mostly say that just because, wait, what does it look like to put a lilac? Oh, you can't put a lilac in a flower pot. Okay, but yeah, like I was saying, I mostly just say that because I don't know what buildings or what stuff is gonna go over here in the future, so for the simplicity of everything, I'm just gonna leave it plain. But I guess we could do a little bit of leaf action just to make things look a little bit cleaner and a little bit like there's actually something going on around here. I like that. And on the back side, I think, you know what, I'll just throw a flower pot just because I think the flower pot looks really nice. And then we can go ahead and throw a couple more leaves, and it's just a really easy way to make literally anything look good. So there we go. And I want to say the outside of this house is basically complete. I'm going to take one more look at what we think of the house from like right over here. Yeah, I really like how that looks. I am happy with it. I'm pretty sure my wheat field is probably completely done growing, so I'm gonna put all my stuff down for a second, and then I can go ahead, head up to the wheat farm and harvest that for, I don't even know, like the 7th time this video, I think. One thing I do wish is that I had a bridge somewhere further down here, because it is a long walk all the way around to get up to the bridge to the main house. I know I could just swim in the river, but I don't feel like it. I also wanted to come over here. I mean, you can't really tell, but we got 1, 2, and then there's a 3rd house over there built all in this episode. But I'm going to spend a little bit of time to harvest up the wheat field. Let me know down below in the comments how many times I do this by the end of the video, and I will see you guys once I get this all harvested and fully replanted. Okay, we've harvested the entire wheat field. Time to craft up my 46 hay bales as per usual. Oh, we actually got 47 again this time. That's good to see. And yeah, we are getting super close. We have less than 5 stacks of hay bales left, and we've got an entire barrel full. Okay, so my axe needs to be repaired. Oh, I'm using the wrong pickaxe, but like I was saying, my axe needs to be repaired, and I want to try to get looting 3 one more time. So I'm back in the Nether. I'm going to quickly repair all of my tools, and then probably going to grind out a little XP in hopes that I can, you know, enchant some more diamond swords. So you guys know the drill. I'm just going to spend probably about 30 minutes farming up some quartz, getting some XP, and I will see you guys when I'm done with that. Okay, I've got 34 levels of XP, which means I get 2 chances to get looting 3 on the sword. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have high hopes, but let's hope we can actually get it. And here we go. Diamond sword. Okay, smite 4, please. Okay, looting 2 is not bad. I honestly want to keep the looting 2, so I think I'm gonna run down and craft another diamond sword because I have more of a chance of getting another looting 2, and then combining the 2 of them to make a looting 3. Unfortunately, that does mean I'm gonna waste 2 more diamonds, but I also really don't care because at this point in the game, I don't have much use for diamonds anymore, so it really doesn't matter all that much. We can quickly just fly our way back up to the enchanting area here. Let's craft up 1 more diamond sword, and please just give me looting 2 is all I ask. Okay, sweeping edge, and of course not. We can go ahead and unenchant that. I think I'll leave my looting 2 sword here as well as that one. I don't exactly need it, and we'll just hope nobody ends up taking it from me. I don't really feel like mining more quartz because I was in the Nether probably about 35 minutes, and I'm extremely bored of mining quartz, so I'm going to take this out of my inventory and figure out a different project. I maybe could go trade with the villagers again, actually. I'm going to go check that out. But first things first, I want to deposit all the quartz that I mined into the chest. And we're going to have definitely over a double chest worth of quartz, which is extremely nice to see. Now I'm going to go head over to the villagers. I'll see you guys when I'm there and see if I can trade more with some of them. Okay, I'm not super familiar with how villagers work in Minecraft, but I would think, yeah, it looks like I'm able to trade with them again. So let's go ahead and and let's start grinding out some more emeralds here while I have the chance. And I honestly might have to go farm up some more wood too, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna spend some time trading with these guys. Hopefully I make it to level 30 and I get one more try at the looting 3 sword. If not, it's okay. We're gonna get some emeralds at least out of this, which is very nice. But yeah, I'm gonna work on this. I will see you guys in a moment once I finish trading all my sticks away. Okay, I traded with all the villagers. Once again, we're just shy of 2 stacks of emeralds, which is gonna be very nice. That brings us almost up to 4 stacks of emeralds, which is amazing. But unfortunately, the villagers are all out of commission. There is a couple guys in there without jobs. I consider turning them into Fletchers, but I don't know if that's the best method. Usually Knight deals with the villagers, so I think I'm gonna leave the villagers for him and I'll just build them a new spot to live in the next episode. Okay, so if you guys have saw a couple episodes ago, you guys would know we got this sheep farm going. We've also got this little pig pen going, so we got a bunch of little piggies in here in this nice little aesthetic pig pen that I absolutely love. And obviously we've got a crap load of cows all over the place, but Knight kind of brought it to my attention that we actually don't have any chickens. So I think I'm not going to make them a very pretty one, but I think my goal right now is going to be to go find some chickens, bring them back to the farm and trap them and start breeding them. I don't think I'm going to build a chicken coop in this episode. We'll probably save it for next episode because I don't think I'll really have time to, but I can go ahead and get started with the process by obviously collecting up some seeds. We're going to need seeds so we can go ahead and breed the chickens. And then I'm probably going to go look for some chickens. I guess I'll go look this direction first. I don't know where there specifically is chickens. I feel like part of the reason we don't have a chicken farm is because I haven't been able to find any. But I'm going to go around, collect up some seeds, see if I can find a chicken. I'll see you guys when I do. Also, guys, I completely forgot about Sophia's home. Her base looks so good. Like, look at how aesthetic that looks. I absolutely love it. Sophia came on for like 1 episode and built all that within like, honestly, I wasn't even online and she did all that. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen her on the server since, unfortunately, but it's okay. But yeah, I always forget it's a thing. Like, it's not far from my base. It's just not seeable from the base. So you have to go a little ways away and you can see it. But yeah, so far, I haven't even found a single animal, let alone a chicken. So things are not looking good. Okay, I found an animal, but this is not exactly the animal I'm looking for. We have a cow and a pig here. So, I mean, literally almost everything except a chicken. I guess we're missing out on a sheep too, but I need a chicken. But unfortunately, oh, another pig. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, we're just not getting lucky and not finding a chicken. I'm going to go ahead that way, see if I can find a chicken over in our peninsula. Once again, I'm not going to lie, I don't have high hopes, but better try than to not try, right? Okay, I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot that DC literally has a chicken coop, and right there's my base, right here's DC's base. So I honestly don't know how I managed to forget that, but I think the plan, I'm gonna just see if there's eggs for me. If there's eggs, I'll take the eggs, and then if I can't get 2 chickens out of these 9 eggs or 10 eggs, I'm gonna steal some of DC's chicken. But nobody tell him that. He doesn't need to know. Okay, Knight wanted these for a chicken launcher. I don't know exactly what that means or how that works, but I'm gonna go and put these in his house. Okay, so jokes aside, I'm not gonna put them in Knight's house, but I am just gonna do like a little hole maybe right here, and eventually probably in the next episode you guys are gonna see me actually make a nice chicken coop. But for now, this is what we got. And then let's go ahead and okay, there's 1. We have 5 more eggs to get 1 chicken. There we go. We got 3 and 10. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's not bad odds. I would breed you guys, but you're babies and I don't think that exactly works. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I also completely forgot I got 3 levels from trading with villagers so I can enchant my diamond sword again. Let's just hope, fingers crossed, looting 2 or looting 3. Okay, Bane of Arthropods. That's not, yeah, no, that's not gonna cut it, Chief. Let's go ahead and let's get rid of that. Okay, last attempt of the video. Can I get, okay, Smite 4, please give me looting 2. Of course, we don't get it. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And yeah, I definitely don't feel like grinding any more XP right now. I've grinded so much XP in this video without an XP farm. I honestly should really think about making an XP farm. If you guys have a favorite XP farm, let me know your favorite XP farm design down below in the comments. I used to use an LA farm, but it broke, and it honestly broke like 3 times, so I don't really want to fix that again. I used to use an Endermite farm in the end. I might do that farm again. That one was really good, but honestly, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I just want to give you guys like, okay, look, this is the map map. Oh, this was so long ago. Unfortunately, there's no date saved here. Somebody broke the date sign, but this is what the world looked like. I'm probably gonna say May or June. As you can see, this was right when I started building across the river. We got the bee farm, we got the cow barn, but none of the riverfront village, and nothing built on this side of the river either. I honestly really want to get a new map updated because I think it'd look awesome to have one of those maps, but we'll see. Okay, I'm kind of just running around doing small tasks now. I haven't farmed the potato farm in a little while, so I'm gonna do that because honestly, potatoes are always nice to have, and especially since I have the auto smelter, like realistically, I could start smelting potatoes. That'd probably be a pretty good idea. Instead, okay, I guess I have like unlimited emeralds because my auto tree chop mod gives me unlimited sticks, but I don't like wasting emeralds to buy steak. I don't know what it is, I just don't. But yeah, we basically have half a double. Oh, we do. I think we have exactly, no, that would be half a double chest of potatoes. So a little more than half a double chest of potatoes. And while I'm in the farming mood, we might as well farm up the carrot farm right away as well. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, you can use fortune on carrots and potatoes. I believe you can use it on wheat too, but it only increases the seeds and not the wheat. But yeah, if you're ever farming carrots or potatoes, little tip, or nether wart as well, use fortune. You'll get a lot more produce, which is always super helpful. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the reason I never farm these carrots is because how they are on this cliff is really annoying. Because actually, when I have to start replanting these and dropping levels, oh, whoopsie, we accidentally broke that. It's supposed to be stone, but I don't think anyone will notice. Let's hope. I'm really hoping. But yeah, when you actually have to come around and replant these, it can definitely just get really annoying. And let's quickly go ahead and replant this entire thing. I'll just see you guys once I get the entire carrot farm replanted. Or actually, I want to show you what I mean by this is really annoying. So I'm on this level. Obviously, I can't just drop to that level because I'm going to end up breaking the crop and then I'd have to rehoe it. So basically, I have to run all the way to the end and drop down, and then I can start planting this layer. Okay, so we got this full of carrots. I think I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this small one too, just because I'm here and I'm already harvesting everything else. Might as well get the little bit of extra carrots while we're here, and we can replant this guy really fast too. But yeah, we've got this completely full of carrots, and this one's gonna be also full of carrots. And I guess we're gonna start this one. We just got 18 carrots in that little barrel right there. But yeah, it's crazy. This house was built February 28th of 2025. It's now August, I think 5th of 2025, if I'm not mistaken. It's crazy how far the world has actually came. Like, it actually feels like a full-on village now. Look at this. Wait, I want to go get the view from on top of the mountain now. I will see you guys up there. Okay, this is the current view of the village from on top of the mountain. I love it. It really does feel like it's actually expanding and growing, although we still got a lot of work to do. Our original goal, mine and Knight, was I would start there, he would start there, and we'd fill this entire peninsula, and we haven't even really started. All of that in 7 months. But I think, like, now that I'm working on this side of the river, I think I'll start filling this area in pretty quickly because I could do some, like, bigger builds. Like, I want to do a massive church build in the upcoming video and a giant villager trading hall. So I feel like I'll be able to fill in a lot of that space really quickly. And then, yeah, we also have my little side project of the fantasy village we started here in the last episode that I do plan on expanding in the future. This one is not really a priority. Like, I'd much rather work on that down there and then just occasionally chip in little parts to this right here. But yeah, I wanted to come over here and get the final, like, bridge view. Okay, it's kind of bad because of my shaders fog. I know you can turn it off, but I don't want to. But I feel like it's actually kind of almost filling out a full frame having my village here now, and I absolutely love it. Also, I just came in this house to use the bed to sleep, but I looked out this window. I'm absolutely loving, like, the look. I don't know, just the houses along the river here. I think it looks awesome, especially when I get some houses up there on the hill behind it, because then we'll have, like, multiple different levels and houses going all the way up. I think it'll be awesome. I also just had the thought that since I'm intending to steal a bunch of DC's chicken for my own personal use, I think it'd be a good idea for me to just come in here and breed them. If I spend a little bit of time breeding them, I'm gonna get a bunch of chickens, and then I won't feel as bad stealing DC's chickens. So let's just spend a second. Ooh, wait, it's also free XP. I didn't even think of that. I could maybe enchant another sword with looting 3 out here, but I feel like I've got to be pretty close to at least getting all these guys bred. I would think I'm not getting any more, so I don't think there is any more. Can I get to level 30? I don't think so, unfortunately, but that is a decent start. And also, I got 12 more chicken eggs just from stopping in there, so let's go bring these to my little stockpile. Okay, so we got 3 chickens out of my 10 eggs earlier. How many can we get out of 12? Let's see. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, come on. My odds are... Okay, there's 1 out of 6. That is not... Oh, there's another one. Okay, that's 2. Odds are not looking as good. Yeah, we only got 2 out of 12 when we got 3 out of 10 the first time. That's kind of sad, but that's 5 total chickens. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of today's episode. So thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel. I'll see you all in the next one.